Hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and I've been thinking a lot recently about how important it is to actually get your message right when you're talking to the next generation, and how every little piece of detail you put is really going to influence things, and how, therefore, every moment you spend is important, and every lesson you teach is one of the most valuable things you can do. And then I realized, I make videos for adults anyway. So, hello, I'm IBX Toycat. Today, I'm going to be playing Minecraft on a 32 by 32 stone block. But it's going to be hugely different because unlike the past 36 Minecraft days, where what we can really realistically say has happened is we have been surviving and slowly getting more slime blocks, today I have the huge pleasure to announce that I am buying podzol. I really had to weigh this one up because it takes my entire emerald supply, which I traded all of my mushrooms for, but doing this is worthwhile for two main reasons. The big one is that podzol will, obviously be usable as a piece of dirt, which is just insane for allowing me to take this. Do you see this right here? Some acacia saplings. I can finally take those acacia saplings, or at least one of them, and I can grow this into wood. Chat, it took me 36 days, but I'm ready to break my first tree. This is a Minecraft world to remember, but yeah, and honestly, what's insane is that in a world like this, being able to grow a tree in 36 days, I think is quite impressive. I think that means that we did things pretty well, and yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and welcome back to another one. But yeah, I think that realistically, I'm putting my podzol away right now. Actually, no, I'm going to put one more podzol down, like over here, because it's not just trees that I get access to. That's nice, that's wonderful too. But I get access to one other very unique little benefit here, and that is the fact that if I place this second podzol down, and then I have to make sure this last podzol stays safe forever, because I will need it to grow mushrooms big later, which might be very handy. But get this, chat, if I go and I break this podzol block, it kind of hurts me as an idea to do, but if I break this podzol block, do you know what I get? I get dirt. Do you know what happens if I then take this dirt and use some of my sticks and wood to grow myself a, well, I'm going to have to wait for that to grow, but if I made myself a hoe, do you know what I could do? I could grow potatoes, which means I can get a source of real emeralds. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's crazy. And so, oh man, those creepers, I really don't want them there. But there is a slime block that I'm going to go and get, so let's charge them away. Goodbye. And yes, goodbye. Don't kill me. Chat, I'm going to not spend tonight doing anything besides waiting for some mobs to spawn and then killing them in the morning with sunlight. Because I need some bone meal, probably a healthy amount of bone meal, if I'm going to be growing a lot of wood, which you better believe that's my plan. So yeah, I have plans to make a lot of potatoes. I have plans to make a lot of wood today. And after I do that, we're finally going to be able to say that this world won't just be 32 by 32, because my slime chunk will be, I think it's over there, the next two. I'll be able to expand my slime growing area if I want that, and my biggest project I have planned does require even more slime blocks. So I've got big moves that require slimes. Also, not a single mob spawning yet. I've got big moves that require slimes that I'll be able to expand towards, and I'll be able to finally go up to the point where I'm not at minus 63. This is as low as we can be in this world functionally, and it's all going to be changed. So today is massive, chat. I had emeralds, now I don't, but now I have something more valuable, which is a theoretically renewable source of wood. It does rely on these trees actually growing, and should we just accept that this? Oh, the wandering trader's getting murdered by a baby zombie. There's not a lot I can really do about that, is there? Well, I was meant to kill the wandering trader. This is, chat, this is why, this is a good reminder about why it is that even though nighttime has so many rewards, it's just not worth it. Just ultimately, let's go to sleep. Let's avoid all of the pain that comes with that and see what happens here in the morning. So, as you can see, this is a zombie. I will punch him because I still need iron quite badly. Oh, there's a baby zombie running towards me with a lead in his hand. Where did you get that lead, Mr. Baby Zombie? I wonder what you had to do in order to get that. But yeah, now I'm just going to kill both of these guys. I didn't get any iron, which is still what I would have loved. And now I'll kill the baby zombie, which will actually be really easy because all I have to do is... Oh, the baby zombie can run faster than me. All I have to do is jump up here. Successfully. Admittedly, I did not do that. And then we'll be good. So, chat, I'm killing this baby zombie, and this will be the last time I have to kill a mob using my fist, because after I get this tree grown, I'll be able to make wooden swords. Chat, I will finally not be at the mercy of having to hit a baby zombie 20 times to kill him. Or maybe if we get a few critical hits in there, more like, you know, like 15, 16. I won't have to do this anymore. It's gonna be incredible. I am excited. Oh, damn it. I am very excited about everything happening this way today. But we've got to start with our last... you know, this is important. To appreciate where you've come from, you've got to remind yourself where you know, to appreciate where you are, I should say. You have to know where you came from. And sometimes that means being mauled to death by a baby zombie repeatedly. But yeah, let's put this away. And indeed, our leads too. And then let's grab this bone and this bone meal. And let's do the reasonable thing and grow a tree. Yeah, chat! Wood! Wood! We did it! You know, I'm describing exactly how I feel about the Wandering Trader, you know, in the images I've seen of them. Or indeed, I should say, you know, in the delightful little images. But we now have this, a beautiful acacia tree. Damn it, there goes the milk bucket. Yeah, the milk bucket would have been nice. To be clear, though, now we don't need the milk bucket as much because I can grow potatoes. If you doubt me, look at this. Here is a piece of wood. I think just a single one should get this done because we can use just 2 planks. So 1 piece of wood makes this, which is sticks, plus that, which means we can make a hoe. We take that wooden hoe and this single potato, and now, chat, I can grow as many potatoes as I like. I can either wait here naturally, or I can bone meal them. But in either case, my big limiting factor on how much I can grow now is the dirt. I can use 1 for a tree, which I think I'll immediately break down and get another acacia sapling planted. But yeah, the limiting factor on how much I can grow is dirt. And right now I have 2 because I'm not using my 3rd block as podzol. So let's go, indeed. Speaking of let's go... thank you very much, Diluted Dante. Achievement unlocked, Toy Cat got wood. Man, chat, again, this is the most serious wood I think I've gotten in a challenge so far. Also, giant leafy grass stem. Yeah! Also, it's great to see you, Xavier. How are you doing on this wonderful stream eve? Streeve, if you will. Streameve, if you won't. And congratulations, Andrew. Thank you, Tita Bull. Okay, so now I have all of these acacia planks. Options are opening up. I can make a wooden sword. Why wouldn't I? I can make another chest. That's a good one. That's powerful, chat. I can finally, like, unbundle... I mean, I'll keep some stuff in a bundle, but I could start to unbundle things. That's huge. And now, crucially... Oh, there's a slime. Oh, there's 2 slimes. No, I lost one. But look at this, chat. 1 hit. 1 hit is all it takes when I want to get things now. It's if I want to deal more than 1 damage, I don't have to use up one of my very few renewable blocks. It's incredible. Love to be in this world where this is true. So here's the fun thing. You know, it's a long wait for me to let this tree grow. And as you saw, I don't have any bone meal. But what I can do... Oh, did I break my potato? Whoopsie. I should put this in a less... precarious position, I would say. So I'll place that there, and then I'll put just a plank over here. But get this, chat. I can decide to make myself a pickaxe. Assuming I don't have a pickaxe here already, actually. I do. So I can use my pickaxe, but I'll be able to make one later. And I can take some of these blocks, because I no longer have a need for mushrooms, and I can mine the bone blocks back. And now these bone blocks are my renewable store of bone meal. Look at that, 19 bone meal. Which means that now I can just place bone meal over and over again. Which, you know, you might think like, but I've got to harvest it in between. But here is my vision, chat. I want this tree to grow. So I'll move this over here. And then I'll grow a tree. Maybe. There we go. And then I take the dirt. And so now it's kind of like I have a bunch of dirt. Because I can grow these trees in different places. I'm sure there is some downside. Somewhere in the world that I can think of. But for now, it means that I can grow a lot of acacia and get a lot of wood starting to farm. It looks very goofy. I'm fully... Oh no, my llama. I don't care. I don't care anymore. They're my only source of leather, so I have to care on that level. But realistically, I don't care, chat. They are not my biggest of concerns. But what I do care about is getting all of this bone meal back. I know I'm going to want a ton, so I might as well get my hands on some. Look at that, sorted. And now what I can do, even better than what I'm just describing, is because I can bone meal potatoes, right? Look at that, 4 potatoes. I can cook all of these up using I don't even have to use these bows anymore, chat. The bows are freed up for dispensers if I want them to be. I can now use my planks, although you should never use planks directly. If you play Bedrock, always use slabs, and it'll be good. So we have started on such a high note. I agree, Dasher. How's everyone been? The streams have been clashing with others, so I haven't been able to come. I would like to believe that everyone is good. I've certainly been good. It's been a very, very good start to my year so far. We're 2 months into it now, chat. This is the last day of February, so we are now 1/6 of the way through 2026. I think I can't cope with that fact. I think on a very serious level, I'm like, no, that's not true. Someone has made up some... Oh, sorry, I can't do this. If I'd have gotten rid of that last potato, I think I'd have been boned for some time, actually. So, thank God I spotted that. But now we can grow the potato, and we can get some more. So I can use these jacket potatoes, as they are styled, to trade with the Wandering Trader. I now have enough of these that I can sell in them, get an emerald. That's great. But eventually I'll have enough that I can just eat them, which is cool, right? I think it's cool. That doesn't compute. It's sickening. Thank you. I'm glad we're all on the same page. Good to see you, by the way, Kitsfay. And I hope that everyone does it well too, Mr. Tujova. So here's my thinking, chat. Right, until now, I've been limited in the space that can exist in this world, and so I've been deliberately using this tiny little corner to put my house in. I think I should start expanding from this corner, because I do have a big plan for what my house is going to be. So I think now, instead of my house being like here to there, I think I'm going to move it to the right some. I think I'm going to take all of these blocks because they're no longer necessary. If I wanted blocks, I could start placing them myself. And I'm going to start building my big vision. So, yeah, I was kind of hoping we'd get some moss first, because then I'd be able to get some real planks. We haven't had that just yet, but it's totally fine. My total supply of wood is, you know, it's getting up there, but it still is short. But soon will be great. So you don't need bows for fuels now. Just make a dispenser just for fun. I still have to worry about my cobblestone, but I should make at least 1 dispenser. You're right. I think it'd be a nice block to have. In fact, yeah, let's treat ourselves. Let's make, so here is my slime balls. I'll just put those away. Let's grab all of these slime blocks. And let me show you what we can do with the power of these. Because I think it's time to extend my house a little bit. You know what, chat? It's like real life. When things go well enough, you decide you're going to extend. I mean, I assume that's how things work. You know, actually, chat, something I just realized. Tell me if this is an off observation. But is it everywhere in the world that, like, extension is normal? Or is that, like, a very UK thing? Because of, like, you know, how hard it is to get a new house built. Or does, like, is it normal in most parts of the world that, like, oh yeah, I would like a bigger house, but I don't want to move house, so I will extend. Because I feel like I only ever hear about it in the United Kingdom. So I've currently got a potato in my doorway, which is a decision, to say the least. I will fix that later. But this is my beautiful house as it exists so far. I am going to put some blocks over here just to prevent any mobs from sneaking into. There we go. And look at that. Our house has gotten double as big now, chat. Look at this. Isn't this a real treat? Yeah, it's a treat. It's a nice little house that we've got going on. And now I can build a dispenser to add to it. I think I should build this free high just to keep things consistent. Yeah, and then I could also put some on this side, chat. I think realistically, even though it'd be better with a block below it, because obviously, I think if we place some blocks over here, it wouldn't be wasted necessarily. So, actually, yeah, no, let's not do it just yet though. Let's hold out for now and instead just place 4 blocks there just so they're placed down somewhere. So yeah, chat, is it worth even spending time at night? I think the only reason we'd want to is to get bones. And bones are quite valuable, so let's make sure we've got a sword. Let's make sure we have a second sword. Then let's make sure we get an axe, and then a second axe. And let's chop down some wood at night. Let's get some real acacia in here. And let's start... actually, let's start making some torches. Because now that's something I can seriously consider too. Yeah, we're moving up big in this world. What in the world is happening? We've just entered our industrial revolution. I shouldn't be using a sword for that, by the way. That was a poor use of a sword block. I don't think he got permission from the council for this. What's the property tax on this world? Honestly, not high enough. Clearly, the unimproved value of the land is very, very high, given that there's only 33 by 33. So the relative property tax should be very, very high. But this is a very corrupt government, so I lobbied to have that be lowered for me. And so we've all decided that, yes, actually, I should not be paying any council tax. Terrible. Also the Wood Age. Yeah. I guess the Bronze Age, if we're looking at the colors and we're being appropriate about this. I think saying we've entered the Bronze Age is a very, very fair thing. So, yeah, now... Oh, is that a slime? That is not. Those are leaves because of the spring drop from last year. So, yeah, it was great to see you, Spring Chilius Bean. How did he get wood? Thank you for asking. Allow me to have a little flex. It took me 36 days, but I finally managed to get some emeralds for the Wandering Trader. Very, very hard, given his default trades. It took me all of these days, but I have done it. And yeah, I'm gonna crack open an orange mama to celebrate. This is a drink I found in a weird convenience store. It's from Germany, apparently. I've never heard of it. But let's have an orange mama together, chat. Oh. Honestly, you don't hear about many fun drinks coming from Germany. Everyone wants Japanese or American drinks. Maybe Asian drinks. That's Japanese, I guess. Oh, okay. Can't enjoy my drink. There's a creeper who wants me dead. So yeah, I still don't really need to... Oh, wait, I can't do that. I can't do... Chat. That is entirely my bad. I balls that up. I was like, I'm so powerful now, I can do whatever I want. That is not true in the slightest. I am not so powerful that I can do whatever I want. And I should really, really note that fact. Because, oh my god, look at all the zombies. Okay, so I won't enjoy my drink until the world is safe. Orange Mama stocks go through the roof. Mmm. It actually is quite good. It has a... It's better than Fanta, that's for sure. It tastes like how you like to imagine... Oh, no, 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 don't fall off. Don't fall through, don't fall through. So this is a giant... Like, this would have taken me all night to kill before. But now, if I want to get my hands on some iron ingots, or indeed some potatoes or carrots... I still don't have carrots. I don't need them, but I'd like to have some. If I'd like to get my hands on them, you know how we can do it. We just got to kill these guys. And look how fast it is. Look how fast and efficient. And then it gets me my food that I'm using anyway. Incredible. So now we can also cook up some of this. If we put like 2, 3 in there, we should now be able to get some charcoal. So if we want to make a bunch of torches, we can. Or if I just want to have charcoal, I could totally do that too. It's my life. I can do with it what I want. So I'm just going to knock the creeper off still. No reason not to if we can't. And then we're going to kill zombies. Oh, it's so great, chat. Look at this. They're just dying. There's no negotiation. There's no terrible process. It just works. It just works. This is the Industrial Revolution for the challenge. Yeah, this truly is a massive game change. What I'm a big fan of as well. So now I'm thinking that we really should be putting some... Okay, so the skeleton is a trickier job, but we just have to ambush him, basically. Just like that. And another bone. Add it to the bone meal pile. We'll add it eventually. Chat, we are so stocked. We are so stacked now. I watched enough of these challenges. I'm just waiting for you to fall through the hole with your saplings and wood supply. That's a good point. I should make sure that I've always got something backed up. so that me dying is not a disaster, because I do die. You are not mistaken. You are not rude. Well, I mean, you are rude, but you're not incorrect. It's interesting that sometimes you can be correct and rude. That's something that annoys me about life, you know? Is sometimes people be like, yeah, you just gotta stop saying that. Just because you're right, it doesn't mean you should say it. And it's like, but or does that... Surely that can't be true. Surely if I, surely if it really annoyed you, then you would just stop being wrong. But there are times when people want to be wrong, but still... but they want to be allowed to be wrong, I guess. Which is kind of valid if you really think about it. Don't we all deserve the right to be defiantly wrong if we need to be? So yeah, I'm going to have to eat up a pile of rotten flesh while I hang out in this corner of my house. And I am going to probably, like, extend the floor in each direction. That's for sure. Also, I'm going to make sure I back up my chest supplies regularly. Just to prevent any tragedies that I don't suspect will happen, but they may. Potato plant will not stop baby zombies. I could fight a baby zombie so good right now, though. If it's 5 hits, I think I can do that. Only taking 1 or 2 myself. I don't think a baby zombie is a terror anymore. I think my life... I think I am no longer beholden to their whims. Which is great news. So let's light this area up like crazy. I had 4 torches, so I could have gone kind of nuts before. But now if I want to, chat, I can be like, yeah, torch... I've got a torch over here right now. Torch over here. Torch over here. Torch over here. I can have torches everywhere if I want to. Place a torch on that side. My life can be covered in torches. So I kind of want to let these potatoes grow before I move them. And I think that I should move them into my house. Oh, I grew 1 potato? What a waste. I think the safest place for this would be, like, over here somewhere. I think this potato... I think this dirt is more valuable than this potato. But it still is very valuable in either case. So now there's a creeper. Not going to deal with him. Going to deal with the zombies instead, which, by the way... Okay. By the way, I need to make more slabs to cover up that hole. Because there is just a hole right now. It's not necessarily ideal. No! Not necessarily ideal at all. So, creeper is not a lot of fun. He's absolutely winning right now. Yeah, I have not made a terrible mistake all day today. Also, what's that? A stick? It probably came from my tree, but still. Get me a free treat. Why not? Love to see. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna die. I think rotten flesh is not as fast acting of a food as I am choosing to believe. So we're gonna have to fight the spiders, and okay. Then we're gonna have to eat again. And then we're gonna have to eat again. And you know, let's just go on a run around. Picking up the armor, picking up the spider strings, picking up the everything we need to. Or should I use my little hidey hole again? I mean, my hidey hole is beyond gone, chat. It is so beyond gone. Oh no, and so are some of my zombies. To be totally honest. But the good news is so is my creeper, so it's not all terrible news. And there's a spider over there that I missed, and I'm gonna die. And I'm gonna die. I'm gonna get him from the side, and I'm not dead. Thankfully, not dead just yet. Successful night. Kind of making me wonder, like, is this what I need to be doing right now? Or should I spend a few days just really grinding down the wood? I think that's what I need to do today, chat. I think it's fun to imagine that I should be killing mobs. But once I set up the mob grinder, the mobs will come to me all day, every day. And so I think that mob grinder is the most important step in itself. So I'll eat the rotten flesh, get myself up to full health, and we're going to do something that is unimaginable to most Minecraft players. And we're going to have a consistent sleep schedule. It's going to be great. It's going to be glorious. And it's going to result in me having a mob grinder when we're done. So first of all, let's place some blocks over here. This is, of course, essential. Although maybe actually I don't want it. Whatever, it's fine. This is great. For now, mobs can't spawn here, and that's fine. And then I'm going to make a staircase over here, I think. I think some staircases up so that slimes can spawn, because that is still essential and kind of non-farmable. And then we're going to start building our grinder next. Because while we're chopping down these trees, we should still be able, it should at least be theoretically possible that slimes spawn, which means we can kind of... We're still multitasking even during the day, which I think is always important during these challenges. There's a lot of stuff that needs to get done. It's up to you to make sure you manage your time so that it does all get done. But, yeah, you can cover holes with wood instead of bones now. Yeah, you'll be able to tell which creeper holes are pre and post the Bronze Age in this world. You really will be able to have a... You really will be able to tell quite massively. Perhaps invest in more walls to your house. That's a good idea, actually. There's a lot of places to invest, and we have to actually start thinking about which of them makes the most sense. Yeah. I could take a baby zombie, completely unrelated. Let's light this place up. Yeah, it's a completely unrelated fact that I wanted none of them to spawn in my house. But I could totally take a baby zombie. I'm not going to, of course. But I could. You know, I could. Who would stop me? Besides the baby. Okay, so now we break this block, and then we break this block. And I want to keep the acacia saplings back in my inventory with me. And I want to make sure one is always growing, so I can save my bone meal when I can. Just like how I've always got a potato growing. Although, is the potato something better to just leave to... No, I think this is a good split. Half potato, half acacia sapling. No door challenge? I mean, what's the point of having a door if a zombie can just knock it down anyway? I'll build a door, but not because I think I need one, but just because... Yeah, you know, yeah, no. Why, what am I proving by having a door, chat? What if instead I just make parkour be required to get into my house? Isn't that a more fun solution? Yeah, no, I don't need that. You know, that's silly. Whose idea is that? They should be fired. Okay, so I'm gonna chop down some trees. Then I'm gonna make myself some stairs up, and I'm gonna make like myself a little slime spawning chunk. And that slime spawning chunk is gonna be over there, and we'll be able to torch that up to make sure that only slimes spawn there. Or maybe we should specifically do the opposite, actually. Yeah, actually, slime spawning chunks can become a real nightmare later. So should we be thinking about not having a chunk? Like, are we creating future us difficulties by doing that? I think we might be. Therefore, instead, we should actually pick the best chunk that doesn't have... Yeah, I think what we should be doing is we should be picking the best chunk that we know for a fact won't have slimes in it. So if I'm not mistaken, this is a slime chunk where those cobblestone blocks are. So I'm going to build my mob grinder over here, but like diagonally over here, because then that way I've got room for expansion. Or maybe like over here makes sense. I guess over there in that diagonal direction, or that direction. I think if we go diagonally from here, that would be perfect. I think I need to expand, but in the right direction. Also, just got on, my first thought was, who is this rich guy? Because you have trees now. Yeah! I have so many more blocks. I've gotten more blocks today than in the rest of the challenge combined. Which is just crazy, I've got to say. So, chop down this. Chop down this. Let the tree destroy itself. And get me some sticks, by the way. I'm gonna have so many sticks. So many crazy possibilities opening up here. I was thinking fence and gates always open, so you can still knock mobs off the edge. Ooh. More entertaining to watch. Yeah, look at me. I am doing you all a favor by not having a door to my house. What a hero I am. What a saint. What a savior. Oh, you know, it sounds exactly like Xavier now that I think about it. So, yeah, I'm heading to a really good place right now, chat. We've gone through the chaos. We've gotten through it, but we've still got to be able to get to the next part of it. Because again, my house needs some work. I've got some blocks to be getting back to. There's stuff that needs to be done. Actually, what I might do is I might place some slabs around the edge here. First of all, because I can then get my block back safely. But it'll be like a place for mobs not to spawn, but also like a safety barrier. Sticks. What is this guy
I
living
was
in?
busy working recently, but definitely enjoyed watching the funny Deathloop Wood Skyblock challenge so far. Glad to be here. Wood/Bronze Age tax.
Thank you for
face
paying
emoji.
your tributes to the beautiful age that we have now freshly entered. So yeah, all of these slime blocks are coming back in now. Every single slime block that I had before, I have to make sure I get that. Yep, every single slime block I had before no longer is useful as my only block. It's now useful as a kind of a tribute to where we're going. No, Josh Jones, thank you very much. I'm glad you've been loving the series so far. I think this is one of the more fun, silly challenges we've done, and I am surprised by the progress of it all so far. So yeah, I guess we should place slabs along the edges here. Okay, so grab that and grab this. I think we have a basically 99% chance of getting the slime blocks back, which is perfect. But yeah, now if we want to place blocks, I guess arguably we should have done the same, like, slab along the edge thing. Or yeah, instead of placing blocks down there, should we place, like, slabs, but, like, on top of them? I think that's a good idea. What if we have slabs that make it tricky for us to fall off? You know, do we even need to have blocks around the edge? We do, yeah, to stop slimes falling off. That is still the reason this exists. So we'll place slabs there, and slabs there, and slabs here. And do I go every other block here, actually? I guess I do. Up until the edge. I'll still use... Yeah, I should have placed them on top, chat. I got too excited to reclaim my blocks. And now I have created a problem. Okay, break this. Break this. And now, let's think about the size of this. Is this the correct size? I mean, if it is, then I think we've picked nicely. Yeah, and now we'll go along this side, placing some blocks above the void. Should I place some blocks below it first? Probably. At least some slabs, right? We can fill them in later. So let's grab some acacia slabs, a ton of them. And let's place some blocks over here. And on top of those blocks, we'll place some slime. This is just this is a basic prevention measure. Prevention, whatever. This is a measure to prevent me walking off the edge, at least on this side. It is a nice measure, I would like to believe. Oh, also, look at that. A slime has spawned, and you can see the value of the slime wall coming into effect here. It might be that... Oh no, the other one walked off the edge. It might be that you also see here that a slab isn't good enough. So if it isn't, then I'll just place a block below it. But the slab on top will at least mean that no mobs are spawning on there, which is currently like a waste of the nighttime spawn cap. So, definitely no holes. Place a slab. Yeah, this is frustrating, but I can place the slab on top of the string, to be fair. Place a slab, place a slab. Ooh, chop down the block. And make sure we have our dirt working for us. Once more. Take this. Place it over here. In this lovely spot here. And then grow another acacia tree. Chat. It's going to be a very woody stream. But you're going to see the entire world change as a result. I could even put up like little barriers on the other side of this too, if I want to. So yeah, annoyingly, even though I already had slime blocks there, I am now going to place string and then a slab. It's beautiful that the string and the slab have the same hitbox. I don't think that makes a lot of sense, but it's beautiful in its own way. And yeah, if these don't work here, because this will allow me to knock off a creeper. Or will it actually? I'll place them a block back if not. But in either case, look at this. We've changed, and we've made the world consistent and beautiful. Grab the string box. I think I must have missed a string. No, it's just up there. We're good. We're good. And then this, and then string, and then this, and then string. And then that leaves us with a nice, perfect gap here. And now we just have to grab that back. Ooh. And then we have to get these, which is going to be a little bit dicey, because they are further out from the edge. But chat, I think, if I can do this correctly, I have now freed up some slime blocks to go into my beautiful house that you can see is starting to come together. It's still very little progress. It looks like we're replacing the green with the orange, but we're getting a lot of that orange at the same time. And so, like I said, chat, I'm gonna do something that would have felt insane, impossible a little bit ago. But I think that now that it's time to sleep, I think we're just gonna go to bed. I think that is the thing that makes the most sense. I'll be getting lots of hostile mobs later, so I don't need them right now. They'll be spawning in my mob grinder when I build it. I'm happy you gave up hardcore for this world. Can you imagine? Well, actually, we can imagine, right? I'd have died a lot of times. Oh, look, we did get 2 zombies anyway. And thankfully, I can just kill them like normal. Oh, iron! Yes, chat. See, incredible. This is the real sign my luck is turning. We've gone from desperately killing zombies every night and getting nothing for it to now desperately killing not even wanting zombies, just accidentally getting zombies, and one of them giving me a full iron ingot. We now have 1.2 iron ingots out of the 10 required to get water. If we even need to use it for that, though, right? Because now we can just trade from the Wandering Trader, theoretically, and get some fish. Now we only need the iron to either make ourselves some buckets, but we can buy the bucket too, to make ourselves a cauldron, to make ourselves a smithing table if we get to the villager point. Yeah, I've got some iron possibilities now, chat. I think an anvil would be useful. A shield is worth considering, but I'm not going to. Again, my life is just not that worthwhile. A piston is one of the silly things that I can go for. Chat, I am filled with possibilities all of a sudden that just did not exist previously. So, yeah, I'm going to place... I don't need to have these because it's my house now, and slimes won't be spawning behind my house. So let's break that, grab it back. Oh no! Okay, that was my bad. Very, very much my bad. Okay, I feel bad about it, but it's not that much. But okay, that's a tragedy. That's an objective tragedy. I did awful. I should feel bad. Okay, so I'm gonna now just put all these blocks on the front of my house, and every time I get extra blocks, my house can get bigger. Isn't that nice? Just get that extension. Also, half a smithing table. Hey, excuse you. It's more like 60% of a smithing table. I'll have you know. If you craft a piston, you can then make a sticky piston. Ooh. You're right. I would be able to get sticky pistons very easily. Cauldron and a bucket might be nice for water. So I was thinking cauldron and a bucket for water can be, but then I realized because I've got the potatoes, now I got a source of emeralds. Every third wandering trader on average, obviously average is not guaranteed, but every third wandering trader should now give me the chance to buy cooked potatoes, and I have enough cooked potatoes to do that. I think they buy from you twice, right? Or is it once that they lock in? I think it's twice that they'll buy things from you. So I should get 8 cooked potatoes cooked and ready, because sometimes the wandering trader kills himself. And then I can get 2 emeralds every third wandering trader. So right now my emerald income is about, 2 emeralds every 10 days. So by day 100, I'll have 12 emeralds, if not more. Because all it takes is, if I get some moss, can you get dirt from moss? I don't think you can. I think I'd have to buy more podzol or rooted dirt or something. I think those trades would be massive, and then I could theoretically get something from it. Can you buy wheat seeds from the Wandering Trader? I don't think that'd be a good reason. If he sells them, then he's doing you a disservice, but I could really do with him selling me them. What was that potion you just poured yourself? On my most recent international flight, I think they gave me a Bailey's bottle, and I had a little sip, and I was like, nope, I'll put that in the fridge for later. But, the conversation we've been having about, well, I say we've been having. I've been having it, and hopefully you've been nodding your head and going, yes, Toycat is so smart. He really understands how it works. But also, I want this cobblestone slab back, but I'm not going to get it. But what I am going to do is I think I'm going to replace one of these blocks with a crafting table. Now, if you think about it, chat, having a crafting table is clever. It's like a block, but I can craft with it. So we'll get another axe and another sword. Maybe another 2 swords. Stack those up over here, you know, and then we'll stack the axes up over there. Just so that I've always got one of these tools when I need them. Or should I even put them next to each other in my inventory? I should. And then we'll always have the most used or the least used axe there. Perfect. Oh, and there is a slime. Let's see if he doesn't bounce off the edge. I'm going to try and knock him off, chat, to test my systems. I'm going to try and knock him off. If he doesn't go, that's a good sign. I think that means that they can't just kill themselves. Which means that now we'll kill him with my sword. It's not even needed. I think this was an entirely fine mob before. It's just a flex, if I'm being honest. But look at that. Easy peasy, freebie slime blocks that I can use, especially when combined with these ones, to make myself a bigger house. Yeah, every day the house gets a little bit bigger. A little bit more unwieldy. But now I've also chopped down enough wood blocks that I can make some stairs. And I want to use some stairs to get where we're going, chat. That is important to me. So, yeah, that acacia sapling is still not growing. But this one is slowly molting. Giving me some saplings, actually, that I could probably use in a composter if I wanted to. Bottle from Witch and Cauldron with Rain, you can make a water source. Oh, yeah, you're right. Water bottles would be huge. If I can get sand. Oh, no, yeah. I think you're right that the cauldron is still worth making. But it definitely isn't a right now desire. I mean, it's still more useful than anything else at this very present moment. It feels wasteful, but I'm not sure that it is. Okay, so now I'm going to place stairs here. No, it's not going to work correctly. It's going to go upside down. So I need to place like a slab here, and then stairs here, and then place stairs on the side of those stairs, and have this go all the way around. Or even, should I just do the same, but here? Okay, chat. This is my... Oh, that's weird. And now we place stairs on the side. I'm very scared about falling off. Don't love looking at the void here. Yeah, I guess we just have stairs that go the length of this. I don't know what I'm thinking here, to be honest with you. I'm winging it and going as we go. But then we'll have like a staircase that's like a triangle. So this will go like up to there. And then this staircase can go up to here. And then the next one can go up just here. Is this a reasonable looking staircase? I don't know. But I'm not too bothered about that fact. Okay, there, and then there. Perfect, chat. So now, this is my brand new island that I am building for a mob grinder. I like the Void Flat series. See, okay, chat. I say this a lot, and it's one of the things that most people look at me and say that is not a normal sentence, chat, Toy Cat. But actually, I really think it's true. I appreciate your tip, because you're putting your money where your mouth is. You know, if you say, Toy Cat, great series, you know, Toy Cat, people say stuff like, Toy Cat, great jumper. It's not a great jumper. I might have stolen this from someone. This jumper might literally be one that I beat up a homeless man and took it from him. Would it still be good if that was the case? No, you don't know anything about this jumper. There's nothing great about this as far as you are concerned. Maybe it's aesthetically pleasing at best. But even then, is it that much better than any other jumper that I could own? I'm not so sure that it is. If I think that praise needs to be qualified to have meaning, you know? There has to be some, you can't just say words. I mean, you can, and we all do. But like, you gotta have some meaning behind it. And so as a result, I believe quite strongly in this idea that, like, you know, I think that if you live in a city, you should only be able to use your car horn like once a year. I think that you know, like, given that so many people will hear that car horn that aren't the person you're trying to be angry with, and the car horn is meant to mean I am here, you know, like it's meant to be a warning, we will collide if you do not realize that I am here. I think if you live in a city, You should have a real big limit on how much you can use your car horn. It should be once a year, and you got to pay every time after that or something. Because otherwise, people do it for meaningless. If you've lived, okay, if you've lived in an urban area, if you lived in a place where lots of cars go, even if it's not urban, if it's just near a place that is, you know what I'm talking about here, right? Like, people just honk for such meaningless, like, why did you need to let the world know that, you know, you are angry that someone decided to be there? Like, everyone's driving, they've all got places to be to. You're not extra important with your places as much as it feels like you are. And so, yeah, I feel like the same thing is true for like praise. Like, if you're not a little bit selective with your praise, then you're just saying that, you know, like if you say that this jumper is good, and then you say, oh yeah, the end of the Holocaust was good. It's like, no, you can't say those two things are equally good. The end of the Holocaust was a great triumphance of the human spirit. Was the proof that the human race, if we, you know, even without direct incentives to do so, the human race will solve big problems. That's nice, right? You know, assuming you think that's. I'm not here to make past judgments on whether you believe what you believe about what you believe, but presuming that you think it was good, you shouldn't think it was good. You should think it was great or really great. Also, what if I say the jumper sucks, actually? So, I actually kind of think that too. You know, we have a few trolls here on the channel, and it's like, you know, you can say this sucks. But, like, if you also say that, like, oh yeah, it kind of sucks that, you know, there's a war starting in the Middle East right now. It's like, no, this stream does not suck as bad as War in the Middle East. As funny as it is to say, actually. That is you know, you've at least got some humor going into that one. But it's like, no, there's not an equivalence between these two things. I hope this jumper wasn't a gift or anything. Yeah, imagine if it was a gift and people said it sucks. Also, the skeleton just walked off the edge. That's why we can't have nice things, chat. Okay, so zombie killed, murdered, good. Now, I think I should still mine a lot more of this house. Yeah, get the cobblestone back, and then that'll let me make the dispenser without having to destroy my whole little island. I think that is the must that we're going to go for now. That is 3 bits of cobblestone. Please tell me that's enough without me having to make a new pickaxe. If I have to make a new pickaxe, though, it's not a disaster. It's just I would rather not. But I'll do it, you know, chat? Let's treat ourselves to a fresh, spicy, new pickaxe. Oh yeah, we are living life large now. I'm still waiting for that tree to grow, but it's totally fine. It can do it in its own time. It's a grower, not a shower. And now we'll chop down some of these blocks, as well as, I guess, logically, some of these, now that this is gone. Again, I'll leave some of this here as a bit of a ruin for now. But also, why do you need a dispenser? Is it just novelty? Oh, 100% it's novelty, yeah. I think at some point I will want a dispenser. And for now, I think we need to reward ourselves for the great amount of effort that we've gone through. So now let's do some reorganization in here too, I think. I think it's a lovely house. We made some great strides. Don't get me wrong. But on the subject of not getting me wrong, you know, there's still things we can do. Also, jump a gate. Good to see you, by the way, Kat. Merry Streammas. I'm a couple months late to that one, I guess. Okay, so let's place the furnace down over here. And let's have the crafting table go right next to it. And then we're logically going to have to move the chest. It's going to be a painful one to move, but we're going to have to do it at some point. But that point isn't right now. Let's be real. I'll place my bed down on this side. Make sure I've got some space on both sides of it. And this slab doesn't need to exist as far as I can tell. So I'm just going to pick it up, chat. And place it in here. Probably specifically in there too. Okay, now we look around for the Wandering Trader. It feels like it's been a few days. I could do with a Wandering Trader, maybe. And yeah, I think the most important next step is to get those slimes back. If only because they're there physically a little bit ugly. And then we'll be good. Ruins for Void Flat lore. Yeah, I think the world could do with some lore. But yeah, chat, let's make ourselves a huge step forwards. You know, like, I guess we should say It's a small step forwards for me, but a huge step forwards for Voidkind. Now there is officially a dispenser, and I'll put it like, I don't know, over here. Chat, isn't it beautiful? Isn't it just? I don't know how you could say it's anything but beautiful. Nice big window to the void you have. It's my garden. It's a nice garden, I think we'll agree. Oh, I bought Minecraft Dungeons today, chat. It's only £12 to get this game on disc. I didn't even know it came on disc, to be honest with you. Is Streamer's Claws real? He's as real as the praise of people who think that they can say that everything is good. No. You have to qualify praise here. And oh, the slabs came from in here. So let's put half of those back in. That's fuel sorted. And yeah, I think we're gonna have to make a dedicated bow chest somewhere soon. In fact, we're gonna work out a big storage system all at once, I think. But all at once is not right now. Instead, right now is about sorting out the edges of this world. It's a little rough everywhere, so we'll make sure we bring it all together. Is it screaming, or does your house have a bumhole now? Everyone's house has a bumhole. If you don't know about your house's bumhole, then yeah, that's a slight concern. Okay, so this block is going to get really tricky to get without breaking something around it. But I must try nonetheless. Also, I'm going to put all these bone blocks in my main chest, just so I don't die with all the bones and regret my life. Okay, easy peasy. Let's now make the slabs over here, such that we can get our slime blocks back. And our string if we want it as well. So 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 5, and a 6. And now, chat, I could destroy these blocks down here. I don't really necessarily need to. But just by... Oh, okay, I do want the string back, though. Just by doing that, we have now made our world look a little bit nicer. And our house a little bit more glorious, if you don't mind me saying so. I am going to want to get up there at some point. So I'll just place a block there and then remove this one and block place all the way, I guess. Perfect. Okay, so this is the dispenser looks like a clickbait thumbnail. That's a really funny idea, actually. There should be an IBX dispenser skin. I'll look into making that for my next thumbnail. Store unstackables in the dispenser. That's actually a good idea. Right now, until I sort out my chests, what if I put all my bows in the dispenser? This is beautiful. It's probably what I'm going to use them for anyway. But now they're all doing themselves a little bit something different. Also, I'm jealous now. The only drink I have next to me is Lucadade Sport. Oh, I love drinks. I spend my life drinking drinks. Chat, you're not going to believe this, but I've never gone more than 28 days without a drink. Not a single time in my life. I live a life of extreme privilege, and I'm aware of that. And as a result, I always have some form of drink. My favorite drink, I have to fight people about this one, but if you don't like the taste of tap water, it's a sign that in your area you get the non-premium stuff. Like, you ever go to the petrol station and they're like, oh, there's a slime. You ever go to the petrol station and you wonder, like, why is there a premium fuel that costs 10% more? And you find people, you find, if I'm being honest, people who don't understand being like, yeah, I buy the premium because I want my car to last longer. And it's a reasonable assumption that more premium fuel does that. But, it's what it really is for is it's for the higher octane cars. My mouth is a high octane car, chat. A drink is in an alcoholic beverage. No, I mean a liquid beverage. I think beverage actually specifically means alcoholic. So I will re-clarify My funnier. Also, premium fuel is tastier. Yeah, the premium fuel is the like. Let's be honest. We all have a like. When you're filling up the car, you're buying 40 liters of petrol or something. You gotta have a liter for yourself too, like a little, or at least a little squeeze, even if you're in a hurry. Apparently, petrol is very, very poisonous and will kill you very quickly. So I'm gonna quickly remind everyone, don't do that. But to lean back into the bit for a second, yeah, I think that the premium fuel tastes much better, and any discerning consumer. Anyway, anyone discerning, that's obviously where you go for it. Okay, so now we're going to continue to place more string going this way, but we don't need to have these slabs down here. I'll leave them anyway, because who are they hurting? Besides the appearance of the world. Maybe. But now, it's impossible to fall off the edge of the world that way. I could probably make it impossible to fall off the edge of the world a good chunk of the way around. Should we do that anyway? I think for appearance reasons we should. It's very cheap now. And so why not, I guess. I think I can't grab the string back so easily. So I'll just get more string from my chest. Yeah, actually the string cost is a good reason not to. Funnily enough. So I'm going to destroy more of my ruins. I want to leave some of it there. But I still want it to be easy to get through here. So we'll destroy those blocks, and maybe these blocks, and definitely this block. And then I'll just put my wool over here somewhere, I don't know, in a chest. Perfectly fine for me. Later me might have sheep. Later me will never have sheep, but later me can believe that he's going to have sheep. And current me has to deal with the reality that I never will. Okay, let's put these blocks onto my house. Glorious house now, isn't it, chat? It's big, it's glorious, it has everything it needs. Also, he's just saying that so he gets to taste it all for himself. Yeah, I let's be honest, if everyone starts consuming it, then I will have less going around for me. And I do want to continue, you know, I don't want to end the good thing that I've got going on here, so thank you for understanding that. In the US, premium fuel doesn't degrade as fast as low octane. Yeah, but how fast is fuel degrading in general? And even then, how much more... Like, you get me? Even if it degrades 10% faster, it would still be cheaper to use the cheap stuff if it's less than 10% extra. Unless you're trying to, like, save the planet. And even then, I'm not sure, actually. I guess premium fuel must be harder to get, even in smaller quantities, or it wouldn't cost more. I think we can assume. Although, is that even true, or is that just my, like, assumption? Is that just me, like, putting logic where there is none? You have your own Bezos hedge. Why don't you use bone meal for your crop? Yeah, I should use bone meal. I just figured it would grow naturally. I'm doing everything else first, and then when that runs out, then I will use bone meal. And I'm guessing we're getting to the point where it will run out. But I was kind of hoping that we wouldn't for a while. Okay, so let's make a bunch of sticks now. Chat, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to make some ladders. And those ladders... Okay, so we've got 2 skeletons. That's worth sleeping through. Good stuff. Do you think a drink made up of 1 drop of every single unique liquid would be safe to drink? Not at all. I think it'd be unsafe. I mean, there's a lot of bad liquids, right? Like... We've all had a liquid come out of us where we're like, that is not safe to drink by anyone. You know, if you haven't, I'm very, very envious. Let me start by saying that much. So yeah, let's do some bone mealing, just real quick. If it won't grow by itself, then I will make sure that it grows. It's a shame we didn't get oak trees, because then we would have apples. But I do like that it's a funky wood compared to usual, so there is that. Also, where did you get the wood? First time watching the series. Noshua! Hello! I'm IBX Toy Cat, and on this channel, I do silly Minecraft challenges. If it's your first time watching the series, then this is Void Flat, the silliest super flat preset, where for the longest time, actually, if I had to describe it simply, for the longest time in this super flat preset, I've been floundering around desperately hoping for emeralds, because emeralds are the only way that you can ever get trees in quite a few of the super flat presets. And so you probably guessed by now, the answer as to how I got trees was I got saplings in the bonus chest. But there's no access to dirt in this world, so I had to trade for podzol, and I still have one of those podzols lying around. But I'm hoping that the Wandering Trader spawns in again, because if I can get more emeralds, and eventually I will be able to, if I can get more emeralds, then I can get more goodies. I'm going to put a crafting table in this hole over here. It fits nicely, doesn't it, chat? And then I'm going to make myself some more slabs, just a whole pile of them. And then these slabs, so I'm going to put a block there, and a block over here. Yeah, oh, and then I need another block, but I can't even reach that far. So I'm going to have to jump up to here, and then up to there, and then we'll place it. And then, honestly, at this point, why don't we just place the blocks, and then, worst case, lose the slab. Yeah, we didn't even lose it. Didn't even. And then we'll do that all the way until these slabs reach here. Or in fact, I could just place one of these off the side there. And then do that. And chat, we've now got a fully secured right side. Slimes will not be jumping off any of these corners. They could walk all the way across the edge, but by the time they do that, it's their own problem if they die. Also, have you tried Waterflat World? I have killed Dasher many a time on the Waterflat. Honestly, I think that is my second most exciting series idea after this one. I think that probably has to be hardcore to be its most interesting version of itself. I got to the point where we can prove that it is possible, but it's a type of grind that I'm not looking forward to right now. Whereas for some reason this is like it's been hitting my jam. It's been hitting the sweet spot, if I can say so myself. So this little area is going to go up here a bunch and over there a bunch. For now, we'll just build like a nice 4x4 platform. And now we're going to work out exactly where we want the mobs to be. So we're going to have... Actually, should this just be the kill platform? Yeah, let's build the kill platform in this direction. So how big was the kill platform last time? It was a chunk. Does it need to be a chunk? In theory, there's no reason that it has to be. So for now, we'll just get some good distance. This is 5 blocks, chat. This is 6 blocks. This is 7 blocks. This is 8 blocks. This is 9 blocks. This is 10, 11, 12. I think 12 blocks away should be... Oh, there's a slime again. 12 blocks away should be plenty. So that is a medium-sized slime. He can jump off the edge, I think. If he does, he will prove why we need more guardrails. Oh no, don't go over the edge. Don't do it. But yeah, chat. If you just joined the stream and you're wondering why I placed all those acacia blocks, even though they look a little bit ugly, you know, let's be honest, suicide nets look ugly too. But we have them because we like suicides less than we like suicide nets. If that changes, then obviously... you know, isn't it funny, like, for most of human history, especially, like, the last 100 years, there's been so many new humans coming into the world that, like, legitimately, your individual life has been like, well, if you end it, that's bad, that's messy, you'll upset some people, but, like, whatever. So, like, I feel like the individual human life is now valuable on, like, a macro level. I think the only thing that might change that is, like, if I can go a little dark with you, is, like, probably AI, right? Because one of the messiest parts of society... Oh, chat, no! No, you... Okay, chat. I'm getting better guardrails. I'm getting better guardrails. There was nothing... There's nothing you can do if the Wandering Trader decides he's spawning at the edge like that. How do I even... How do you stop that? I guess I should place a block underneath these ones. Yeah, I guess that's the way. But even then, it's not going to stop him from walking. Yeah, I don't even know, chat. I don't even know. OMG of this guy every time. See, we were just talking about this very same problem. Like, his suicide is upsetting to me, but also it's a big problem for me because I need A wandering trader. I like that the llama followed. I like that this one didn't. He's like, I'm free now. I can do what I want. You know, I live in a pre-AI society, a pre, you know, like technological revolution society, whatever you feel like calling it. But as a result of that, I need this guy, not just on an emotional level, like, because it hurts, it makes me feel sad when I witness a suicide, but on a literal, like, he has things that I need from him. I'm doing the labor of chopping down the trees and building a mob grinder, and he's doing the labor of going to other biomes, finding some podzol, or whatever else. Got a fence up. Yeah, maybe fences is the way to take this. Maybe a fence around the edge of my world could do some good stuff. But I want to be able to knock creepers off. But I guess right now I'm not knocking any creepers off. Yeah, maybe now is the time. More than any other that this is true. Yeah, I think, as crazy it is to say, I think that probably is right. I think if we fence up our world... No, I don't know about that. I'll definitely put fences around this side, though. This side will have fences. It won't prevent the exact same tragedy, but I'll prevent different tragedies. So, pile of those. Bunch of these. 27 fences. For now, that'll do. And later I can reclaim them and use them elsewhere. So let's place a bunch over here. This actually won't get even all the way around the edge, and then we'll get some blocks over here. And hopefully between these blocks, hopefully these walls are enough to do... No, we have to commit to the fence. If I think wandering traders are valuable, and I just went on a whole rant about how their lives have meaning, even though I barely agree with that fact, I have to show that I believe that that is true, and I have to do that just like this. So now we grab this, place it over there, and bone meal that over there, and then we'll grab it back. It's just most efficient to grow a few of these at a time, I feel like. It's very, very good that we spent all those days getting bone meal, because I am in a more efficient space of it. Do you say it looks like we're in a different biome, but I think it's just the vibrant visuals talking for me right here. Then I'll place it up here. Actually, this is a messy place to do it. Let's place it like there, because then I'll be able to get it from the side. Grow the tree. Grab it back. Can't afford to lose the dirt at any cost, by the way. And, oh, there's a slime. Let's get him good and killed. Again, I don't need to use the wooden swords on the slimes. I am using it for convenience, and it feels good. After all this time of punching everything, it feels good to kind of overuse it. Just a little bit. And that's almost a free slime block. Put it away. Make my house slowly big, beautiful, wonderful. That side near your house is important, seeing as it seems to be a suicide spot. Yeah, maybe I should actually... Maybe I should put a fence around the back, too. What's the goal here now? Great question. My goal is to build a Minecraft house. You might say, no, surely, Toycat, but what's your tech goal? No, I want to build a beautiful Minecraft house. And some of building that Minecraft house requires me making a grinder, because that will allow me to get a villager. And obviously, you've got to have a villager living with you. I live in a crazy world. But I want to live in a world with a Minecraft house and a villager. Do I need anything else? Honestly, do you need anything else? Don't we all aspire for that? You know, we call a Minecraft villager, like, an ideal wife. You know, we call a house, like, oh yeah, I want, like, fulfilling purpose and meaning. But most people, you want someone with the intelligence of a Minecraft villager or above. And you want a space that is made out of slightly less than transparent blocks. Everything else is kind of a nicety. Is brick possible? Possible, but very, very, very tricky, I think. Also, we can use the iron to make a stonemason. Because we can get stone in this world. So that's a fun little feature that we have access to. So we'll place that back down there, and then as soon as we see a hostile mob, we go to sleep so that it dies in the day, along with any ambitions of the mob being able to kill me again. Again, the mob to me kill death ratio is like very close to like 1-to-1. I feel like I've killed about 500 mobs and I've died hundreds of times. But it's about to change the other way in a big way. Also, look, yeah, the slimes are definitely transparent. You can see the light is going through them there. But it still is quite a weird thing. You've changed, man. Day 15, Toy Cat wouldn't even recognize you. Very true. Very, very true and correct. So here are some zombies. I'll switch out my sword real quick. Let's get some zombies slain. Maybe get an iron ingot. Again, maybe I don't need the mob grinder. Maybe I just needed the wooden sword. It's entirely possible that that is true. Doesn't look like it though. And yeah, now we'll use these to make more planks, and we'll use the planks to make more fences, and we'll use the fences to make sure no more surprise falls. Especially on these rough corners. These corners are all dangerous, so we seal them all off, and problems go away for good. That is a slime, and that is a creeper. I mean, the slime is useful. The creeper is just annoying, though. We're going to run away. Okay, let's go back in for the creeper. Perfect. Creeper be dead. Gunpowder be gathered. And extra slime balls are now had. Again, I was expecting to see some skeletons spawn. Given that I'm using so much bone meal for all of this, it's kind of what I'm needing and hoping for. Maybe a little bit too much. Yeah, maybe I'm just being too needy. Maybe that's my problem. But we'll just grab these, put them together. And then I'll go up and out over here. Because it seems like I'm getting the best mob spawn rates when I do this, chat. Maybe that's a foolish assessment. But if I stand up and out here... Nope, there's no mob spawning. So if there's no mob spawning, it doesn't... The night isn't important. I said I would go to sleep through these, and I think that that's an important thing to stick to. So, good night, internet. Brick equals water bottle plus dirt, then mud on drips. Oh yeah, there's the long way around. I can do that. You're right, actually. Funnily enough, the long way around is the funniest way around, objectively too. Okay, go. He's gone. Okay, so it's been a while since I made a mob grinder, and rather than looking it up, I figured it'd be way more fun to make it from memory, chat. That is how we do all the important things around here. So I'm going to make a, like, I guess up over here. Yeah, I need the ladder to go somewhere outside of this. And so is here good? Yeah, I don't know. I think here's great, where I've already got this anyway. On the corner here, actually, I think is where it makes the most sense. Let's start placing blocks. And then let's start... Oh, that's not how you do it. Let's start placing blocks, and then let's start getting a ladder. Chat, this is basically the Toy Cat space program. The entire series so far, I've never been above about -60. And now, look at this, chat. Oh, and there's a slime coming for me. Let's go get him. Make sure he can't fall off. He can in fact not. That is a baby slime that I also need to get. It's only 0 to 2 slime balls, but it's something. So murder, murder, murder. This is my multitasking. While I work on my mob grinder, I am killing slimes. Later, I will probably have to like cover up this chunk to make sure it doesn't spawn anything. But for now, I want slime blocks. They are useful for my house, and I want a house, and I want a partner, chat. What more do you need? What more do you need? I'll make it from memory. I think I know where this goes. Yeah, I think what Dasher is alluding to is it goes really well, and we all smile, and we live happily ever after. I'm like 90% sure that's what she's trying to imply there. Okay. Also, Toy Cat's ruined me. I see boats as Boat. I mean, it's how it's spelt, right? It's just a fact. It's everyone else who's ruined for not seeing it that way, really. So let's go up and get that last block. Or in fact, I can probably do it from here. Yeah. Nice, nice. And then we'll destroy these 2 acacia trees too. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't fall off the edge. Oh, he still can't. Even medium slimes are kept in place by this. This is a very positive development, chat. Love to see it. Do you like to see my house too, by the way? I think it's glorious. All right. But yeah, chat, I would like to tell you about my day. How has my day gone? Yes. Okay, so now we're going to work on the mob grinder, and like I said, we're going. I had a good day today, chat. I had one of those days actually that I think defines one of the silly lessons that I think is worth living by. Because I've always felt like birthdays are stupid. I've always felt like basically any commemoration day is a little bit stupid when you really get down to it. Like, this day doesn't mean anything. The day isn't special. And if anything, you know, like, given that we know solar calendars to be fake, because, you know, like, some people say, like, oh, it means you made around another pass of the Earth around the sun. But actually, a calendar year doesn't perfectly line up with a regular year anyway. So you're not even celebrating that. Like, a birthday, it's not the exact same time that the Earth passed around the sun. It's, like, roughly the same time. And so I feel like, you know, I get a bit cynical and I go like, so why are we doing this? And sometimes it feels like you do stuff like that because you have to. And for a lot of people, it kind of is true. But then you realize it's like, no, but the point of it is the point of celebrating like an anniversary or a milestone is that like you're realizing that it's been that many years and it's still there. I mean, you can celebrate that something's not been there for a while. Like, I think celebrating death days is an interesting thing. Or commemorating things that way. But, you've got this. How hard can a mob grinder be? Yeah, exactly. Mob grinders are easy. Famously. Mob grinders are famously very, very easy. I think I made a mistake using water last time I made a mob grinder. So I'm going for the Classico design, given that I don't have water. And we'll see how that one treats me. It should be fine. It'll go well, in fact. Let's go that far as to say it. This will go really well, and will be really, really chill. Okay, so that's too many ladders now. I stopped counting, and I should not have. So I don't want to place so many of these that I can actually die. But that should be enough to make things good. So this ladder now goes up to Y minus 39. The bottom of this mob grinder is Y minus 59. So the top of the mob grinder needs to go 3 more blocks up, because all mobs need to fall 20 blocks. Yeah, zombies need to fall 22 or 23 blocks in order to take damage. Simplify mob grinders. Yeah, my favorite Minecraft suggestions meme. Birthday's not stupid. That's the good one. Your day. Do something special for you. Remember, you will die. Birthdays are you day. No, yeah, you're saying stop being analytical. I'm explaining that I've stopped being analytical. And so now, but like, then you realize like, oh yeah, really? The reason that what you're saying though is silly, but also it's a permission to be silly, right? If you say, oh yeah, I just blew, the entire day doing something that I love, people will be like, that's fine. But if you say, oh yeah, I spent my birthday doing something I really loved, put a lot of effort, everyone will be like, oh, that's nice. Wow, your birthday, that's real good. You go, girl. Or whatever people say when they appreciate people. But, you know, like, that's what will happen. People will be like, wow, awesome. And, you know, if you have other people you want to involve in those plans, your birthday's a great opportunity to do it. So I feel like finding, like, significance, finding good reasons, finding reasons to be excited about stuff and to do stuff you care about is a good thing. And so today, chat, today's the last day before TfL, the people who run the trains and metro in London. It's the last day before they raise their fares. They're raising them like 5% or something. It's like it's not that big of an amount. Realistically, you know, ultimately not that big of a deal. But actually, it's like, wow, prices are going up. That means today it's cheaper than tomorrow. And so let's go on some train journeys. And so that's what I did. There's like, I hopped on a train, then another train, then another train, then another one, then went to a few different places. Got on an underground, got on an overground. Did it all, chat. And the significance of it is silly, because, like, if I'd have just done it tomorrow instead of today, would have been, like, I don't know, like 20 pence more, maybe. But I made it a significant day, and it was a good day. I had a drink with cereal milk in it. I I had poutine. I went to like I went to a place called Tooting Chat. And it's like this like quite, I don't know, the way you describe it, if you don't know, it's like, you know, like it's like quite an ethnic corner of London, which is always funny to me because like that's not actually a valid sentence, but it's, you know, it's how you describe it if you're going there. And yeah, as the ethnic corner of London that it is, it's got like a lot of like Afro-Caribbean food. It's got a lot of like interesting Asian food. I saw a Filipino food place and I was like, that's not common. But then, amongst all of that, do you know what I saw? I saw a poutine place. And we were just talking about poutine in chat. Also, train fares are forever increasing, says Kitsbay. Yeah, I'm such a, like, I'm the worst person. Like, when I had a friend recently complain about potholes, and I was like, I mean, like, have they gone up more, or have you gotten, you know, like, more angry about them? And he was like, you know, maybe actually. And then my other friend was also like, actually, where I live, I never see potholes. He was from Milton Keynes, so maybe that's you know, they're known for roads over there. Maybe they don't have potholes. I've never seen a pothole in Milton Keynes. And yeah, like whenever you're driving, you will see a pothole every now and then. But it's like, it's not, it's never actually that big of an inconvenience. It just makes your car go, oh. It's like a involuntary speed bump. And, you know, are speed bumps voluntary anyway? I feel like speed bumps aren't that fun. So much so that I'm like, I bet you can just hit them whatever speed you want. How ethnic. Okay, so... I don't know if I'm doing this right, but we're going to have this... Actually, wait, this isn't enough blocks up. We're going to have a staircase from here, maybe. No, yeah, I think I did this wrong. I think I placed these a little bit too soon. But it's fine, I can sort that out later. Now we'll come over here. I think being below all the mobs is going to be good anyway. And then we'll go over there. They're all bottom slabs, so there is no issue. And now, chat, we're going to start placing acacia planks, but once we get to the right level. So I'll place a stairs there. I'll jump on those stairs. And then I'll place an acacia plank over here. And then this is minus 35. If I am not mistaken, and it's very hard to find out if I am, that should be the lair. Minus 35 should be the lair where mobs fall 22 blocks to minus 57. Oh, it needs to be 30. So it needs to be 37, not 35. But once I place blocks at minus 37, mobs should fall 22 blocks, therefore making them die in one hit. If I've done everything correct, that's how it will work. I feel like potholes in the UK are different than the US. Yeah, I've got that like thing where I'm like, you know what? Everyone complains about like the price of public transport going up. And it's like, do you want it to stay the same price forever? Because that is effectively saying like you want it to be more and more, if not subsidized, right? Then you're still saying you want it to go down in price forever. I think we do need to normalize the idea that inflation is built in. Like, inflation is a goal. It's like, I don't know, put it this way, right? Like, imagine ignoring the concept of the Earth moving around the sun. Because you're like, but I don't like the idea of the Earth moving around the sun. And it's like, but the Earth does move around the sun, and we all accept that it moves around the sun. And so should you. Also, if these are actually half slabs, well, they're slabs at minus 59. But that means that full blocks should actually be, hypothetically, at minus 58. Like, minus 36. Yeah, minus 36 we'll go to for now, just to keep math simple. We can go down a half block if we need to. But minus 36 is where I will hope to be at. So this is minus 36 here. So easy peasy. Let's just move these blocks down one. And just like this, chat, the mob grinder has begun. So minus 36 is over here. And then we place trapdoors on the edge to make sure that mobs fall off. And then, or we could even place a ladder. I've got one of those on me right now. And then we can place a block on this side of the ladder. And this kind of checkerboard pattern is, if I'm not mistaken, the main way that this whole thing works. Easy peasy. And then we'll do the same over here and over there. And we're not going to do all the ladders right now. I'm just showing you the vague premise. And then we come over here. And we place a block over there. And then we come over here and we do the same. And now we've got a 5x5 little grid of mob grinder. So again, if I fall off right now, chat, everything I have is gone. A little bit spooky. Let's make sure that I'll lose less by combining my swords together. So now I'll lose 2 swords instead of 3. To be fair, money isn't natural either. Yeah, money isn't natural, but it's like, we've all decided, like, I guess it'd be like, you know, like, if you don't like money, it's actually quite reasonable to say that I would like to live in a moneyless society, but then go and live in a moneyless society. Don't be upset when every time you want to go to McDonald's, you're like, and then they asked for money? Don't they know that I could knit them a basket, or that my value cannot be turned into a money? It would be silly, even though those are valid sentences, and you can create a system where that makes sense, but within the system we all exist in, you know, like, I don't think that I want to have a different type of wood. I don't like the acacia wood, chat. I would you know, like, it's in my top 3, but I think I would have liked having an oak tree. I'd be having apples right now. I think I would have liked having a spruce tree. I could make mega trees and it'd be easier to mine. I think I'd like having a pale oak tree, because then I'd have white wood. It'd be new and different. So, I think that, like, I would like to have a different type of wood, but I'm not gonna build around the idea that I do have a different wood. I'm not gonna keep placing down trees and assuming that eventually one of those trees will, I'm not gonna just assume that eventually one of those trees will in fact have an apple, because it won't. The tree does not have an apple. You know, there's I guess, what is that, like, objectivism versus subjectivism? There's probably a definition. I don't even know what it is, because for the most part, that's like, you can't really do much with that. The scientism, I guess that might be, like, I think, something that really upset me recently, chat, and I shouldn't share this to the internet because I know that a lot of people feel strongly about this one, but there's a guy who makes car videos that I don't even willingly watch. They get recommended to me, and I go, I don't think that was a particularly great video. But I checked a couple of them, and then I was like, yeah, this guy's a bit odd. And then, you know, it recommended a few more, and I was like, okay, this is a very this person clearly really dislikes. This person believes that electric cars are a government conspiracy. And then I didn't think anything of it. And then, like, a few days later, I got recommended their video about, I think it was something like weather manipulation. They're like, yeah, the government are in control of the clouds, and they're using them to do this. Also, the earth is flat, also. And I was like, okay. In my opinion, to reach that many conclusions, I think you can actually look at the world and conclude, yeah, based on everything I've seen, the earth is flat. And I can understand why you would therefore, you know, like, refute the evidence that says that it's not. If you don't trust it, you don't trust it. And that's a problem in you, because at some point, like, how do you trust that the ingredients on the label, like, how do I know that orange mama doesn't contain arsenic? Just because the government tells me that there's not arsenic in there. But, you know, you trust other people not to poison you. Chat, I invite thousands of strangers into my life every week, and they tell me all sorts of weird things. You do have to question what people are saying. Also, I have a way of turning charcoal into... Wait, yeah, if I make a campfire, I turn wood into charcoal, right? Is there a need for me to do that? I don't think so. But yeah, I saw this guy recently, and I thought it was really interesting because he's like, oh yeah, and as well as all these things, I believe, he did something recently where he did a really actually interesting drive across Europe. And he's like, oh yeah, and I've been going to this, like, homeschooling federation. And I'm like, oh no. I wanted to believe for so long that, like, oh yeah, homeschooling's like a really good way to make sure that, like, you know, because people learn from people. I saw Mr. Beast recently came out and said, like, oh yeah, he thinks that he can start, if he just puts enough thousands of dollars into, like, education, rather than you having to learn from, like, the teacher who just happens to be in your city, who's unenthusiastic and is there. Instead, you could learn from the best teachers in the world, which is actually a really cool idea as an idea. Where did my dirt block go, by the way, chat? It's got to be around here somewhere. There it is. I mean, the government prints money to represent goods and labor. Geology labor, the number one source, Minecraft says the earth is flat. Yeah, I think that Minecraft is the best source, and so, I think it's really interesting on a certain level that, like, you know, if you see enough of that, when you see enough overlapping correlating groups, you're like, ooh. You know, the number of people who are like, oh yeah, I think that the aspartame is poisonous because how else can Diet Coke be 0 calories? And it's like, I mean, just if you at least understand the pitch that comes from the world, you know? Like, you can then disagree with it, or you can then say, like, I prefer sugar. You can say, I prefer the taste of sugar, I don't care that it's worse for me. But there's a lot of people who say, like, no, there is no trade-off to be made here. And I think that you're ignoring the world as it is to create the world that makes sense to you. And we do that a lot. I think we all do that all the time, whether we admit it or not. But it's quite a dangerous thing when we really substitute the world for one that we want to believe, because sometimes the world we want to believe is not a good world. You know, it's really hard to believe that there are people out there. Like I know, like I one of the things I roll my eyes at a lot is charities, chat. Like, there are good charities, but they're not the majority, in my opinion. Is that me being cynical, or is that me just not understanding that some people are so driven by empathy that they will spend the equivalent of what the rest of us consider to be hard-earned and not fun time doing something, you know? Or is it that they do just the fun bits and, you know, they get rewarded in all the ways that you would do if you were doing a hard job? Took out speaking facts. I feel like that was the most incoherent thought towards the end, so I'm just gonna bring it back in here and say, you should at some point say that you cannot verify things for yourself, and you should work out who you can trust, and you should be somewhat regularly checking that. You know, you should be at least somewhat regularly reevaluating it. Chat, one of the figures I think is really one of the things I think is a really, really interesting one is Jimmy Wales. He's the guy who founded Wikipedia, which I think Wikipedia, the biggest open source knowledge. It's one of the few. They're not a charity. I think they're a non-profit foundation. They're one of the few charities that I donate to. A lot of people have been attacking them recently because he had a conservative, no, like a deeply conservative co-founder who does not like Wikipedia, and so it's a whole thing. But, like, for the most part, I think Wikipedia does a good job at prioritizing knowledge above silly squabbles. My gut doesn't like sweeteners, therefore I believe they're suspicious and poisonous. Yeah, my gut doesn't like ice cream. Well, this is a weird one. I thought I was lactose intolerant because if I drink a milky drink, a milkshake, you know, like a milky smoothie, even like a latte or something, if I drink a milky drink, chat, I will throw it up. It's just how, if it's big enough, like I can drink like this much maybe, but if I drink like a large, I'm gonna throw it up. And so I thought, like, oh, I'm lactose intolerant, humans aren't meant to drink cow's milk, and we're kind of not, right? Like, milk is made for your own young. We aren't cows. Most of us are not cows. Sorry, I'll finish my point about the Jimmy Wales guy later. I mean, clearly the reason to trust him is because he must be Welsh. I'm Welsh. But yeah, so like, it's easy. I used to be like, oh yeah, I'm lactose intolerant. Like, because most people, I am slightly Asian. Asians are more likely to be lactose intolerant. But also, we're not naturally meant to be able to just consume lactose. It's another animal's byproduct that we just consume because it's close enough to our own. So milk is not good for you. Milk is, dare I say it, actively quite close to bad for you. But then I started switching to oat milk. It's really easy if you live in a, I think oat milk is common everywhere now, right? Because a lot of people prefer the taste of oat milk. I think genuinely, like, on a taste level, oat is better than cow. But I started switching to oat milk for all these drinks, and I started throwing up too. And so recently I switched to, I go for just whatever isn't oat or cow. Unless it's soy. I have a weird bias against soy, but I wouldn't say soy milk is bad for you or soybeans are bad for you. I bet soybeans are great for you. I bet there's a billion reasons to have them. I just have a bias against it. It used to be in my fridge growing up because I grew up like semi-vegetarian, and I didn't. I refused to. I don't know why I refused to. I don't even have the logic. So rather than me saying like, oh yeah, because it's probably suspicious because it will make me into a soy boy or whatever the heck you nonsense. Rather than coming up with some nonsense, I just go like, I don't know why. I don't. So I drink. I started having like drinks that are milky with just coconut or almond or whatever the heck, cashew milk. I don't care. Just give me a milk that isn't cow or oat, and now I don't throw them up afterwards. Stop drinking these drinks. Yeah, exactly. That's me doing like personal science. Whereas I could also say like, you know, because effectively me looking up and being like, oh yeah, I'm probably lactose intolerant. That was me trusting the science that, because I have no evidence that lactose intolerance is a thing. Nowhere before in my life had I been like, oh yeah, I have milk and blah 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 blah. Drink enough alcohol and you'll throw up too. That's good life advice. That's good life advice right there. Drink enough anything and you'll throw up. Drink enough water and you can throw up, honestly. If you like throwing up, which you should not, and that is a handy way to do it. The clouds are made of cows and it's always raining milk. Robot Slaver, you've been leaving some really confusing comments recently, and I want to know, is that your bit? Is it, you know, is this a humor thing? I just want to know. I just want to know the context behind what you're doing out there. Anyway, so now I have a mob grinder platform, but it's not that big of one. Although I have to actually decide how big this is going to be. And also I have to then cover it in darkness, which is going to be a whole thing in itself. Don't tell me what I can and cannot like. Yeah. You can't like... Okay, you can't like regular sugar because it's bad for you. And you can't like cow's milk. If only because I think you shouldn't like cow's milk because we over-subsidize it for no one's benefit besides dairy farmers. And dairy farming is like, again, a lot of people have like an ethical concern of it. That's not me. That's I feel like the cows like being milked apparently. I'm sure there's lots of horrifying things that happen to their young, but not to the cows being milked, you know. It allows me to be removed enough from the process to be like, wow, those farmers should stop doing it. It's not technically it's not my doing. Anyway, but what I do think is a little nuts is like we use so much land just to grow cows, just to grow milk. But actually you can use like we can make what is basically milk from other substances. But, you know, I also could accept that you might say like I have tried those milks. I do not like them. Or even no toy cat. I believe in trying things that have existed forever because I think that's a coherent ideology. That's like accepting the world as it is could be saying there are lots of things I don't like, but they've been successful, Toy Cat. Like, I think that no one, besides, like, if you want to be a princess or something, I could see why you like marriage. But no one is, like, so crazy with the idea of marriage that they would invent up the concept in a vacuum, you know? Would you ever invent up that idea, or is it one that only works because it's societally there? But it has like a really decent underpinning idea to it, like the same thing about marriage. Anyway, so I would say that you need to like learn where in the world to like trust your sources. If everyone in your life is getting married, either this is the biggest game of peer pressure ever that you should stop falling for, that you know it's worth considering, or maybe there's something in there that makes some sense to someone at some point. Maybe it's possible. It's possible. They have to be pregnant to make milk. So do I. Manage has tax benefits. Oh yeah, if you're in America and Canada and a lot of other countries too, but those ones have the biggest benefits I find. You'd be insane not to get married. You should just find someone low income. Like if you marry a homeless person, you basically double your tax-free income or low tax income or whatever bracket it is. Yeah, find you a spouse without an income, and your life will be good. I can't get married yet. I'd move in with spouse in my parents' house. Oh, that's the way you got to do it. I like the, you know, even though, like, I think there's this deep desire to, like, move out, I've been realizing that, like, if you get to stay at home, there's a ludicrous amount of money you're saving in the very long term versus moving out. Like, how much you know, how much rent would it be? For the average rent over 10 years, if you think about how much money that is, that's like, oh yeah, that is a life-changing amount of money to spend on living in a kind of okay place that isn't great. So living in the world as you believe, as it actually is. Can't have cheesy yogurt with no milk. Not all dairy farming is for milk to drink. Yeah, I that is a problem actually. I really do like cheese. I think I had a pizza that had some really good vegan cheese in it recently, but I feel like it gets sickening quicker. Like I have a bag of cheese in my fridge, chat. I needed cheese for one meal, and maybe I think I bought a Taco Bell kit. I think it'd be fun to make a video out of. So I've got 2 reasons that I need cheese in my fridge, but I've only got 2 reasons for cheese, right? I've got 2 reasons for cheese, and I've got a whole bag of it. Also, are any mobs spawning up there yet? I think I should put torches down here. Yeah, let's move at least one of these torches. I think this one especially, though. Oh, pick it up. And then pick this one up. I'll move this there. And then I'll move this, like, on the side of this. I think this will do a good enough job in just making sure that nothing spawns. Nothing can spawn down here, but it'd be good to really be sure about that fact. And then we're going to start... I should be careful about this, actually, because if a mob does spawn, it will walk down, and a creeper could just spawn on my head, explode, and ruin my life. I don't want my life to be ruined, actually, so maybe I should start listening to the words I'm saying, rather than doing what I'm doing. The texture of vegan cheese is bad, the taste is worse. I think it really depends, like, I think we're in this weird world, right, where, okay, so this is my argument for, conservatism as a way of life, not like in the political sense, right? If you look at the way that humans have done things, doing things that have existed for thousands of years is a safe bet that it's not too idiotic. Like, people are not dying, they're living for long enough to pass it on, and it's not obviously wrong that they're passing it on. You know, so to give an example of that, try and pick an easy one. People drink cow's milk. And people have been drinking cow's milk for so long that, you know, it doesn't kill, like, the majority of the population isn't dying before they get old from cow's milk. If you do everything else that people used to do too, great. Whereas an argument, like, or an argument in the other direction, is we haven't had phones for most of our development. We haven't had the ability to disengage. Like, right now, chat, I'm bored of you. I don't want to play Minecraft right now. Oh, Untitled Audio. Untitled Audio. Let's listen to that. Oh, yeah. This was great. I love my Untitled Audio. Oh, yeah. Look at me. I'm doing something else. I don't have to be bored. Instead of being bored, I've got this little brick in my thing. This is the wrong video that I hit over there. I don't have to be bored. I can do whatever I want. Isn't that great? Oh, yeah. It's so good. But this is... having one of these little things... I just wanted to play this, by the way, chat. And so brick day candles and the hanging signs here. Don't want this done, don't want these gloss paints so clear. But actually, you know, there is not, like, if you look at it from the other direction, the reason why it's bad is because for most of human history, boredom has been a requirement. The reason I came up with that song that you just heard the tiniest bit of a preview for is because I was on the runway. I think at Heathrow. I'm not sure where I was. I was on a runway somewhere. You know, looking fabulous, hopefully. But can we watch Toy Cat videos instead? Oh, by the way, I'm not bored of you, chat. I'm not bored of Minecraft either. You know, I'm more bored of you than I am of Minecraft. When was the last time any of you gave me a much fun of this? Is that a Toy Cat cover of a beta? Maybe. We'll have to see, won't we? So now that it's dark, oh, we can test the mob grinder. So I think I have to be standing at the bottom here. Let's see if mobs spawn and if they jump off the edge when they do. That's what we have to test. Chat, is there a mob up there? Do we have to get closer, maybe? I bet we do. Like, from about here is where the mob should be spawning and where the craziness should be happening. So, Kat, does it bother you that a lot of Minecraft music is in the key of C major? I have never considered that. I don't think I'm tone deaf. I'm music deaf, I guess. No, I'm tone ignorant, not tone deaf. Okay, so it's now fully dark. Mobs should be spawning. But I don't see a single one, chat. That looks like a zombie with a hat, but it's just my staircase. Again, I just want to make sure that a zombie can spawn, that it will fall down, walk down, fall down, life will be good. There we go, there we go. Ah, chat. Okay, so now I should have killed him, really, but it's fine that I didn't. Tomorrow, I'll set that up. Now that mobs can spawn, we can test that mobs will die another time. So let's go to bed. There are monsters nearby. Let's not go to bed, I guess. Okay. No! Okay, perfect. So there's another creeper around still, but that's perfectly fine. Let's go to sleep. So it's a rude to call your chat boring. It's interesting how I've never heard of a streamer accuse chat of that. Yeah, you're so... Chat, when was the last time you told me a story? When was the last time you gave me a grand idea to talk about? You know, Jeff Kalin actually is pretty good with big ideas. And with not even being rude about, like, oh, you didn't talk about my idea, Toycat. It's like, oh yeah, here's something if you want it. Musical keys are all relative. If music keys are relative, then I am committing a lot of incest. Let me tell you. So, yeah, it is my goal to do the things that other streamers do not. My purpose in life, dare I even say it. So sword, axe, axe. I think having 3 of them really helps me believe that, like, I'm not beholden to this. I'm doing it because I want to, which is where I want to feel like I am. Okay, so chat, what is cheaper to make, a trapdoor or a ladder? A ladder takes 7 sticks. A stick takes 2 of these. Oh, but 4 sticks. So it takes 3 1/4 planks to make a ladder, whereas a trapdoor takes 6 for 2. So it takes 3 for a trapdoor. A trapdoor is very mildly more efficient. Yeah, what do you want about? We get you into all sorts of tangents every stream. Thank you, Generic Observer. You are the least generic observer in this stream, that's for sure. Should I make an observer to go with my dispenser? A little observer on that side. No, wait, not observer. I guess I'm thinking of a dropper. Although observers have a funny face too. You know what? Should we make a dropper, chat? Drop. Little smiley face to go with my shocked face. It's not a terrible idea, is it? Ladders are way more efficient. Oh, but you get 3 ladders, don't you? Yeah, ladders are more efficient if you get 3. So why have I not used ladders in the past? Yeah, you're right. 3 ladders means you're spending a plank and a 12th to get a ladder. Okay, that's pretty good actually. Yeah, there'd be no reason not to. Stack of that, 30 ladders, good to go. Do British attic trapdoors have a square? You know, no, Robot Slaver, until you explain yourself, I'm not responding to your comments. Okay, yeah, you know, you can't accuse Robot Slaver of being boring, but in the opposite way. It's, okay, so this is 2 blocks, 4 blocks, 6 blocks, 8 blocks, 10 blocks. It's definitely going for at least 6. Oh, wait, but we want to line this up with a chunk, don't we? Do we want to line this up with a chunk? Does it actually matter? I don't think it does. If it did, then we would have to start from here. But I don't think it actually does. If it did, we would want to go this way a bit, which I think is a reasonable one. So we might as well. Yeah, let's go a few blocks this way. why not, right? And then, okay, 2 of those. And then once we get there, yeah, that seems reasonable to me to have gone this way. And then we'll add this to our checkerboard pattern. And then when we go forwards or backwards is kind of up to us. They do have robot in the name. So yeah, the argument behind like a conservative way of life is that people have done it for so long and it hasn't failed them. It's quite bold. Like every human generation does this, but it's very bold to say, I have this idea for how to live life that is so much better than every other human that has lived so far. But yeah, that is kind of what you're saying. If you are like, oh yeah, every one of my ancestors before me, you know, every single one of my ancestors before me has eaten, I think probably meat is a good example of something where it's like objectively horrifying, but like actually, you know, like I guess cow milk is more recent. What's a better example? Because I think actually a lot of early, I think you could conceivably have ancestors that didn't eat meat. I mean, if you want a controversial one, it's like every one of your ancestors, at one point at least, had, you know, besides maybe the last 2 generations, had intercourse with someone of the opposite gender. You know, that's one way you're making a bold move in the opposite direction, I guess. But that's that makes it seem like I'm trying to say that's bad, which to be clear is not. I'm trying to say that is it's just the opposite of being conservative, right? And so if you take that towards everything, you could say like, yeah, that's the reason why, you know, it's a good idea to stockpile resources. Is because every time there are inevitably times where we contract as a society. Every time there is a boom, there is a bust. And so if you live your life assuming there is no bust, you might be correct for the future from now on. You might be correct. Like, it might genuinely work out. For example, that like eating not meat is way better for you. There's no trans fat in there. No, it's not trans fat, is it? It's saturated? No, it is trans fat. I don't even know what trans fat is, to be honest with you. I'm gonna look that up. I assume it's not fat that was born a different gender. Trans fat is unsaturated. It raises bad cholesterol and lowers good cholesterol, increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. And it's found in margarine, fried foods, and cakes. Oh. Okay, so anyway, it's bad for you. You don't want it. Every single one of my ancestors was dumb and wrong. Yeah, they really were, right? In a lot of ways, every one of your ancestors was probably pretty objectively dumb. I bet none of my ancestors played Minecraft. And I think they were dumb for that. As an easy example of a way that we know that my ancestors are incorrect. But that the argument on that that is the argument behind saying like, oh yeah, that's why I'll drink cow's milk. Whereas it could be that we work out in 10 years, like smoking when it first came out. None of your ancestors would have smoked if you were born in 1900. I don't know actually when smoking. When did we discover tobacco? You know, when did we start smoking tobacco? See, look, I'm doing a phone stream. This is great. When did we start smoking tobacco? So we started smoking tobacco in 5000 BC. Well, if you're born in the Native America, if you're a Native American, you should smoke. It's unreasonable not to. But if you're anyone else, like smoking came around 100 years ago, and we thought it was good. Like it actually makes inductive sense that, oh yeah, if you have a really warm cigarette in your mouth, it will make a cold go away. But colds, despite the names, this is crazy. This is one of those things that like everyone needs to hear at some point. Colds don't come from being cold, and food poisoning doesn't come from food poisoning you. Everyone needs to hear those 2 facts. Food poisoning comes from it's like a stomach bug, like it's just getting sick in another way. And colds come from also getting sick in another way. Everyone needs to hear that right now, chat. If you don't like it, I am sorry. I'll tell you other facts in the future. But like those are 2 facts that, as I understand it, are true. I haven't ever personally studied the science. I trust the people. I trust I trust the fact that scientists agree to mean that some people have disagreed, and tried to prove it and been unsuccessful. Hey, nice. Smoking has been going forever. Smoking has been going around for a lot longer than 100 years. I think I'm picturing like the big like cigarette companies have been around for that time, right? Like cigars have been around forever, but like a filter, like you know, the chemicals they put in there, I don't understand why there's antifreeze in there, but like, you know, cigarettes were seen as like a healthy habit for a good bit of time. And you could have been like, my ancestors were dumb and wrong for not smoking. And you would be dumb. Whereas the opposite is like, I think Minecraft, we could find out in 20 years that Minecraft makes you autistic or something, right? Like it's not impossible that that is true. You know, it certainly correlates to my, you know, but it's, I think that also, OMG, you got some wood. How did that happen? Well, you see, I had many ancestors, and I'm not gonna make this joke any further. Botulism proves your food poisoning theory incorrect. Oh, but botulism is that's not like that's conflating. You know what you're saying there, right? You're saying that hypothermia proves my cold theory incorrect, and it's like no. You can separately get illnesses from being cold, but that doesn't, you know, and you might be reducing your immune system's effectiveness. But the common cold is a bug that you catch. And most of the time that people are food poisoned, it's the same thing. Or food poisoned. If you ate something dodgy and you know you ate something dodgy, that's a thing. You know, it's a lesson. Look into it. Do your own research. Disagree with me if you like. Tell me that smoking's good for you. Like, genuinely, we have so much evidence that smoking isn't good for you. But genuinely not conclusive, in my opinion. Like, to the sense that, like, I don't think we have conclusive evidence that drinking... We have pretty conclusive water that drinking water is... We have good evidence that drinking water is good for you. Relative to the alternative, I guess. But we don't have a lot of evidence. You know, I'm going to think about this too much. Do you see all the work being done to show lots of behavior problems come from a stressful childhood? Must be all those vaccines they put in Minecraft. It's, you know, you're saying it, not me, but it's making a lot of sense. Just, it's like, do you smoke? No. I have a friend actually who recently gave up smoking. He got quite deep into it, and he's gone himself back out of it. And I think that's interesting. If you want an update on my personal life. Actually, it's not my personal life. If you want an update on some people in my life that you don't know. Actually, if you follow the weird third channel videos, you might know them. There's an emoji on my Discord of the guy, if that helps the two of you out there work it out. See, I'm going to put a ladder up here. And then go to the next layer. Actually, wait, this might be going right into the middle of it all. This might be a messy mistake. Okay, so I think we want to have these be too high. So, this is block 1 up. This is block 2 up. This is block 3. So we want to go here. I'm going to recheck that that is 2 blocks. And then we put ladders here, and then that makes sure that... Oh, God, I don't like the jumps above the void. Should we just place top slabs, actually? I'll use full blocks. It's fine. So now we have mobs spawn here, and when the mobs spawn here, they'll climb down, and then when they climb down from here, they'll do the same. Over and over and over. This is my mob grinder. Good on your friend. I could never. Yeah, I think he got very mildly into smoking. Like, he went from smoking once every month to smoking once every, you know, like, day. And then he's gone back down to once every month. I mean, or at least, you know, like, our other friend took a vape break, and he was like, no, I'm good. I don't need that. So either he was trying to impress me, in which case, wow, look how cool I am. I want to impress me. Or maybe the opposite is true. So there's a third channel. Don't ask about the third channel. It's the second channel's main channel. If you wanna know the lore, you could put it that way. So I like smoking meats, all meats. Ooh, yeah, I like, you know, although that does feel bad, as in it feels like it's bad for you. I don't know how to put that any better. But every time I eat, like, I love Texas barbecue. Actually, no. I want to love Texas barbecue. But every time I eat it, I just get, not indigestion, but like my stomach just hurts a little bit. Like I feel like I've done something wrong when I eat it. If you use slabs, you can't use ladders. Oh, true, yeah. Good point. Good point. Look at me having worked it out. So now we're going to test this to see if the mobs need an extra hit or not. Because then we can work out how much lower our base needs to be. Or higher or whatever. So we want to make sure that this covers all of that. So we'll just keep going around until we look like we've gone in the right direction far enough. And then we're just going to punch a few mobs. Life will be good. Got some chocolate butter today. Haven't had it in ages. So good. You've got it in the UK. No, I have no idea what chocolate butter is. I made hummus and put too much garlic in it. Oh, garlicky hummus. I had poutine today with so much garlic that I feel like I think I might be dying right now, chat. It was garlic butter too, so it was just all over the top. Also, it's true as a Texan, I can't eat too much Rome barbecue because it hurts my stomach, but it tastes so good. Yeah, I know. It's confusing to me. But it does seem to be true. It very much seems to be true. Also, did my tree grow? It is not. Yeah, it looks like I have to grow all my trees myself, chat. I wonder if that's something avoidable or what the scoop is. But something has to be done with it. Anyway, yeah, my broader point here is just to say, like, yeah, I see why some people have this instinct towards, like, same with sugar. We have been consuming sugar for many hundreds of years. We have killed so many people because of our desire for sugar, if you live in a Western country. If you don't, then maybe some of your people have been killed because of our desire for sugar. But, like, we love sugar. We've wanted it for so long, and it's been good. And honestly, most of the time, sugar is good. I kind of, there's been a bit of a more recent movement that's against processed sugar. And I intuitively buy into it. You know, a lot of people are, like, treating it like it is some conservative belief. But actually, it's like, no. In the same way, like, recently it's become trendy to hate seed oils. We don't know that seed oils are bad for you. We know that they're relatively new, I guess we could say. And the same is true for processed sugar. That's the funny thing about, like, if we start doing something, at what point does it become then part of our new culture? Like, you know, I made the point earlier that most people's ancestors were mixed gender, you know, like most of the time, you know, like you know, mixed race, but for genitals. That's most of your ancestors have been that, statistically speaking. But you know, it's now been for like a good 30, 40 years a part of our culture in the Western world. If you live in Russia, I don't know. I don't think that's true. But you know, in the West, it's become a part of our culture. Like, at the very least, tolerance. At the very least, that's like the minimum that's expected from you. You're kind of a bit of a dick if you're not going for tolerance, but it's like acceptance. It's like you are what you are. You're born how you are, etc. Also, seed oil tax. Thank you. I will use your money to buy seed oils, and I will probably not die younger as a result of them. The seed oil is completely unscientific. Yeah, it's using the exact same argument I'm saying here. Of like, well, we haven't done it. We started doing it recently, and then it got bad. But it's like, once you've done something for long enough, like tobacco maybe, if it's apparently 5,000 years old. Although again, but it's the same thing where like, but we were doing tobacco for 5,000 years, and then we invented all these reasons to make it addictive. We've been doing sugar for thousands of years, and then we worked out ways to make it more addictive. Same with cocoa, right? Like it was like I was talking about with chocolate. We made chocolate less of a functional thing and more of a we made chocolate into a thing that sells better, not a thing that is better for you. So the argument against it is solely just, well, we didn't used to do this, so why do we need to do it now? Which isn't really a great argument, in my opinion. Also, I think I'm going to put another crafting table here, chat. I just don't like looking at that hole. I feel like I'm going to fall into it. Seed oil are literally unsaturated fats. They're perfectly healthy for you. Seed oil hate is so annoying. Yeah, I agree with that. It's literally just people being like, we need something to be against. Because as a society, we do. Dasher made the joke that like when in Russia there's problems, they bring up the LGBT hate thing as something to be against. And it's like, yeah, every country just has every society has something that they need to all come together as their common collective cause on. And I feel like particularly it's something I've noticed recently. Like Americans believe that their food is unhealthy in a really interesting way. And it's and the most recent, like, if you look at like most of the hate, it's like, yeah, there's some preservatives in there that shouldn't be in there, that are real bad when they're in there and stuff like that. And like it's interesting because they start to pin it on like, well, big food companies are poisoning us. They're not poisoning Europeans, so why are they poisoning us? Because in Europe, a lot of that stuff is banned. And so the same products exist here, but without whatever boogeyman product it is. But yeah, it's I think it's like the reason a lot of that is in there is because, first of all, American consumers want to be able to keep it in their fridge for 2 weeks. I just drank this bottle that I got from a flight 10 days ago. Is that safe to leave Irish cream in your fridge that long? Oh, that was a nice sound. Is it safe to leave it in your fridge that long?
Instead of toy cat tax? Sure,
Yes.
why not? Not like the UK has enough taxes already, though. Any tax made by toy cat, worth it.
You know what's crazy is there's something called a money velocity, the money multiplier if you're an economist. But now that you've tipped me that £20, I'm going out for ice cream later, right? And so to get that £20 from you to me, there is a little bit of tax involved. You know, like there's taxation in there somewhere. I believe it will count as income. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to spend on ice cream. And I think ice cream is not 0 rated. So then that will be subject to VAT. There'll be a 20% tax on that. But then the rest that isn't subject to VAT, the business is going to have to pay corporation tax on. And off the remainder, they're going to have to spend some of that on staff, where they'll pay, you know, like staff payroll taxes is what Americans call them. That's the term for this. And so the money multiplier effect kind of like also works as a tax multiplier. Like eventually, if you spend the money around long enough, eventually it all goes to the same place. Oh yeah, that's some crazy stuff. That's what you say right before you tell people not to drink seed oils. Had some American Fanta recently. Has an insane 44 grams of sugar. Oh yeah, South American drinks are the same. Like we say America, but really like I don't know. It's that whole western half of the world that's doing some crazy stuff. Oh, it's so good when you try. I've got a McDonald's review coming up where I went to India and tried the Fanta. It's the same stuff. Like they're west. They're in the west corner of the world, I guess, in my mental model I just made up on the spot there. But like, oh, it tastes so good when you have full sugar drinks again after not. Oh no. Okay, we're good. Took a break from seeing war news to see him talk about ice cream and economics. Yeah. I haven't made my war news video yet, but it's been crazy. Get another scoop. Well, I mean, it would be a crime not to now, right? What I'll do, instead of getting another scoop, I don't know what time the place shuts. I'll look it up now, actually. There's a place I really want to go to. It's called Big Kid Ice Cream. Is that the name of it? It's Big Kid Ice Cream. Oh, it shuts in 19 minutes. And it's double as far away. I can't get there in 19 minutes. Chat. I can't have my favorite ice cream. I mean, I could just look up ice cream places that I'd like to go to for the rest of this stream. Ooh, there's a place called Bilmonte that closes at midnight in Fussy Counter. You know, I'll get something on my ice cream instead of another scoop. Oh, okay. The mob fell down. That's a creeper. Let's see if I can kill the creeper in one hit. If I can't, I can punch him twice. If he blows up, then pain. But look at that, chat. It worked. The mob grinder works.
Taxes on everything down. But what about Streamlabs donations? Are they plagued by tax too? Thoughtful face emoji.
So a lot of people, this is something that I feel like, you know, like in my opinion, when I am, like tipping or giving to, Wikipedia or buying ice cream, I like to believe that the money that I give is going to, the people I am giving it to. This is my, this is the stance that I hold. I want my money to go to the people that I am giving it to. And so I don't like that if you, we talk about like if you tip on YouTube, for example, 30% of the tip goes to... Also, I need to get that skeleton over here, but I can't have him... Okay, come over here, skeleton. Come over here. Okay, 2 skeletons now. I'll get both of the skeletons to come this way. After killing the creeper, of course. Okay, very dangerous to do that. Okay, let's see if we can one-hit KO the skeleton. We can! And I got a bow, too! Nice. And then there's another skeleton we're also going to do the same thing with. Chat, the mob grinder is working, which is great. It's very, very dysfunctional right now. I shouldn't use it long-term. But as long as it's working, I feel good. So yeah, I do feel like I like to inform people if you tip via YouTube. 30% goes to YouTube. That's fine if you don't mind. If that's not your biggest factor, it's great. But if you do want to get most of it, there it is. But no matter how you tip, I am going to be paying whatever the marginal rate of income is on that. You could argue though if you'd like. So like off your tip, I am paying taxes. But you could argue because everyone gets everyone earning below whatever the threshold is. Everyone gets £12,500 tax free. Although there's national insurances too. So everyone gets $8,000 if no national insurance, no tax money. You can argue that your tip went to that. It's not quite right. The actual accounting is that, if you tip me $5, I am paying the government $1 a bit or $2 or whatever the rate of that is. And then I also have to pay tax on things I buy. But I don't see that as like this insane like scam. I mean, actually I do, but I'm not like bothered about it, I guess. I see it that way, and I see that that's how the way, it's like if you don't like money, then don't, understand that you still live in a world of money. It's like, I think that the amount of like taxation relative to the economy, I think that we live in such a rich country that we should be able to have a rich government without, like all of those levels. That's my like, but I also say like, oh yeah, but that's the world we live in. Like everyone who wants to earn money, unless you live in Dubai, or unless you, like there are a few ways to not pay any tax, to be tax free. But outside of those niche situations, if you want to earn money and you want to spend money, there are taxes due at some point. There are sneaky ways around it, like there's VAT on 20% and everything you buy in the UK. But if you go to, I think it's Korea, a lot of people are going to, the sales tax there is 5%, and then you bring it back to the UK, and you just don't declare it. You're committing a crime, but everyone does it. And so, is it a crime if everyone does it? Yes, but I feel like if you don't know it's a crime, then you can just keep doing it. Is the seems to be the attitude that many people hold. Yeah, but I feel like tax crime is one that, like, everyone would commit tax crime if they knew how to. I think is my
tax.
Hey, tax! Thank you, Pickled Witch. I will use that to flex on the man at the ice cream counter. I'll be like, I made £10 minus tax today. How much did you make? And then he'll tell me that, actually, like the ice cream place pays quite well, and that he's an owner, and it's been a very profitable day today because of all the trade. And then I'll say, oh yeah, okay, that's nice, great job. Anyway, so now we're gonna build the second layer of our farm, or our mob grinder, which will look like this. I do have to make sure that these mobs don't go over here. This is a big mess right now. Oh, it's going to be a real big mess if I don't sort this, actually. Because they could walk over there, they could fall down there. Yeah, we will solve this right now. Yeah, current me. I'm not gonna pawn this off onto future me. Hey, Darren Hughes, thank you for £37. Oh wait, okay, now I can flex on the ice cream man. Now the ice cream man's gonna be like, oh, wow, I had a good day today, but clearly not as good as you, sir. And then he's gonna tip his hat, and he's gonna say, "My lord, you have won this ice cream store today." All right, I'm gonna tap out now. Happy streamers. You know what, Asher? Today, your criticism that I schedule the stream at 6 and then stream at my normal time has been valid, but I want you to know that only today is that true. Before you go, I don't want you feeling all right about you going. And also, I don't want you leaving not realizing that seed oils are so bad for you because it literally has oil in the name. And the other word is seed. And you know what? Should we do seed sundae, but the ingredients are questionable ones? This is a really fun idea, actually. Seed sundae, but we just type in foods that are of questionable validity. Or seed sundae, but we type in real seeds. Okay, let's get this going. Thank you, Darren Hughes. I hope you are doing desert well today. Okay, I want to place another one of these. And then another one of these. And then there we go. It's the same thing, but now there's a 2-block gap. And so mobs can't jump this gap. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've never confirmed. I have to jump the gap, which is terrifying. But we'll be good. Every time you... Okay, no. Robot Slaver, I don't know what's going on with you, but I hope you're good anyway. Okay, let's place some of these. And let's place some on this side. Looks like I was smart and right. No, it's the opposite. And I can't refute it anymore. Hope you have a great sleep or evening or ice cream. Do you ever feel eye? Says Polymush. I try not to feel my eye. Oh man, I got an eye test done and they put a bunch of dye in my eyes and I was like, it's okay. I bought new contacts. They'll be here in a day. I'll take them out. I've had dye in my eye for like a week. I do need to fix that. See, that's an example of like, it wouldn't matter how bad tobacco or seed oil was. I think I've done more harm to my eyes with this than that. His favorite. Also, what's your favorite build in your Forever World? Ooh, great question. I feel like there's some real easy ones. You know, I think a giant chest made out of a chest is like... I was thinking about it today and I was like, this is just one of those iconic Minecraft builds that everyone should get. Like, it brings me joy every time I see one. I think they're joyous to build, but they're also really useful. Like, I think that there are just some Minecraft ideas everyone needs to hear at some point. And that feels like it should be on the list. Okay, so I'll place stairs on or ladders on this. But now I'm just going to go use the rest of the ladders to make sure that every block has a way down. Because it's more important, rather than efficiency, right now we need to be targeting, like, functionality. Because we were getting a decent number of mobs without even having torched up the rest of it. Like, this is functional AF. Yeah, it's looking pretty good to me, actually. I think we did what we wanted to do without even thinking about it. The mob grinder is coming together. So I want to place a block like... Yeah, I can jump. Wait, can I jump onto this ladder? It's scary to try. Yeah, I'm just going to place a block there, and I'm just going to jump onto it. I'm going to hope that other mobs don't do the same. I'll just break it. I'll let that fall. It's fine. I see my contacts in, because they're not that kind for that, by the way. Ooh... That's basically the same as cutting yourself, but instead of looking at the wound, you're causing future use some very serious problems. That's what better way to do it, I tell you. I'm sure there's a story about a rat that some chatters may not have heard. Great idea. Does the mob trap work in Java? I'm familiar with the trapdoor version. I believe that it should work in Java. I'm not sure why everyone uses trapdoors, and I'm sure I'm going to find out at the most inopportune moment. But I think that this will be fine. I have reason to believe that everything will just be okay, actually. Oh, is it? Okay, will he buy potatoes? Chat. Is he a potato man? Oh, I'm not going to find out today. He's a potato man! Yes! Okay, he can't fall off the edge. Actually, he can, probably. So just right now, before anything else, all these potatoes, you're buying them. You're buying them. You're not jumping off the edge. You're coming right here, and yeah, I got some, chat. I took a lot of damage, apparently. Okay, don't walk off the edge yet. I'm now going to bone meal a bunch of potatoes. That is my priority. I'm going to bone meal a bunch of potatoes. I've got the bone meal. I've got the potatoes. Bone meal, go. Oh, there's a slime coming. Oh, no. Okay, he can't get in. He can't get in. Life is fine. Life is fine. That's 4 potatoes. Put 1 in there, and then put the other 3 in the furnace. Let's cook him good. And then I can get my second emerald before he dies. Chat, because he is going to die. He's going to walk off the edge, do something stupid. So, I think this proves that it was an amazing decision to buy the podzol. Because the podzol is already paying me back 2 emeralds. And eventually, it will cost me 3 emeralds to buy back the mushroom that I had to sell to get the podzol. I think it's, I think this, it was just too smart not to do, chat. And I'm glad that we did it as a result. Okay, so, thankfully he's staying alive while my furnace smelts. And thankfully, I'm getting a ton of slime balls for my new and improved house. But yeah, my dreams are both coming closer to fruition. My house is getting more built, and my villager is getting more goodies. You should make a boat so you can trap the trader when he arrives. Oh yeah, good idea. Okay, so here's my trader. Give me all you've got. 2 emeralds. And yeah, in theory we could eventually get more, but not right now. Websby! Or Websby. Website. Thank you for the 10 Australian dollary dues. Also, Duskfern, thank you for the tip. Wow, everyone's being nice today. We got a tip train going. Choo-choo! Tip train going all the way to the ice cream shop, it sounds like. So I've got 2 emeralds. None of these things are worth buying. A cherry sapling, maybe eventually. But some cherry wood, no. Some spruce logs, no. What I'm instead going to do is I'm going to punch the Wandering Trader maybe 18 times. I'll just, yeah, let's punch the Wandering Trader 18 times. No, like 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go to sleep actually right now. Let's not wait for craziness to happen. Let's try and get that milk bucket. It's a rare chance, but it's better than having no chance. Also, I forgot my count, like 7 or so. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now we let the llamas hit him. Oh, no, he's working out how to kill himself, chat. No, don't do it, 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 don't do it. So we have to let the llamas spit him. Okay, so you guys are going to do this again. Right there. You guys are going to do it. You're going to hit him. Okay, and now as soon as he drinks the milk bucket, we go. Didn't get the milk bucket today. Totally chill. I still got 2 emeralds though, chat. And now, here's a fun thing I can do. Here's a really fun thing I can do, chat. Now that I've got the access to wood and sticks, I can say, also, thank you for gifting the membership, OhioCraft. Beautiful username. And then I've got access to the sticks. What I can do is I can put these down, and I can have myself a way to store these beauties. Now my whole house is going to have a face soon. But yeah, you were up to 8. 8? I am up to 8. Up to 8 what? Emeralds? Anyway, the important thing is today we have made some massive progress. Like, it feels like, again, entering the Bronze Age has been huge for us, chat. Because we've gone from being, you know, near enough nowhere to being near enough, dare I say it, somewhere. And so I'm going to place a ladder there to place a block on top. And then remove that ladder now. And then come and get that. Oh, the ladder's bound. Chat, I know that some people say, like, you play Minecraft for a living and you didn't know that about everything. But especially because things are, like, different between versions and because I just never thought of trying it. I didn't know until literally just now that you can bounce items. That's so fun. That's so fun, chat. Minecraft is beautiful. Minecraft's a great game. And just because my ancestors didn't play it, I'm not going to not play it. They can't take it away from me is what I'm saying. I probably should stop eating my rotten flesh, actually. I should commit to no food or only food that I actually cook and grow. I can eat my bread. Oh, actually, beetroot seeds. Should we use that? I should buy jungle logs if I get them. And I should grow some beetroot. No, I'm not going to grow beetroot. That's stupid. I don't need beetroot. Besides, for red dye, I can make a red bed, chat. Oh, it's crazy. Your hoodie looks cozy. Thank you. It was a gift. I was cold. Chat, this is a silly thing, but I like buying I like buying clothes when I am cold. Because then you can put the clothes on and you don't have to bring it home. And so today I was a little cold. I'm just wearing this warm hoodie, but it's like 8 degrees. Goodbye. And so I bought myself a t-shirt. Do you want to see it? This is a sneaky preview. Look at that. This was £7, and now I can be a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. Item bouncing is an important component in item transport if you want to have fun with it. There's no way that's ever important. That is fun only, and important never. 8 years of Toycat, you're one of the OGs. Wait, who has been a member for 8 years? That is this Mukbella we're looking at here? Oh, it doesn't show me, actually. Channel activity. Joined 15 years ago. That's, like, in general, though. Who's been a member for 8 years? Oh, Haunted Zombie has been a member for... Wait, 97 months. Oh, my God. You're getting close to 100. Are you the longest member that still exists? Members only video, going to get the ice cream. I might do. It depends on how I go to get it, to be honest with you. So gunpowder and leads. And put the planks over here. And we're going to have to make another axe. That's for sure. But look at us, chat. We are so set up today. I don't like that this is too close to the edge. I should build some extra blocks. But yeah, chat. Life is good for me. I've got 2 emeralds. I've got a semi-functioning mob grinder. Very strong emphasis on the word semi. And honestly, it's just getting better. So make sure that you stay. I'm like 6 years. You got the lobster roll. That's how I knew it was a long time. Someone bought a 97-month membership. I don't think they bought a 97-month membership. I mean, I guess at some point they bought it. Man, it's crazy to think. Like, this is what I was saying. Like, you can say that it's arbitrary. Like, what is 97 months, man? What is 10 years or 8 years, man? But it's like, it's a sign that you've done something. And so I feel like the world is worth having a bunch of signs for silly stuff. In the same way that it's worth saying, I play Minecraft, no matter how necessary to my survival it is. Or, you know, you know, like that. Like, life is worth having some silly, unnecessary things in. And one of my favorite silly, unnecessary things is, you know, milestones that prove that... Like, I was thinking today, chat. I was like, you know, if someone really wanted to make content about something, if so, you know, would you recommend that they take a loan out so they can stop working for a year or whatever? And I was thinking deep about this question, and then I was like, the logical answer is still no. Because, you know, like, what if it goes poorly, like, or whatever else the case is. But then I started to really think on a different level, and I was like, man, doesn't that go to show just how, you know, privileged, lucky, whatever word you want to use, but how crazy it is that I have managed to hold on for all these years in an industry where everyone falls off at some point. Like, it is a given that YouTubers bite the dust, and eventually you just stop seeing their videos in your subscription feed. Isn't it amazing that I've managed to not bite your subscription feed's dust? I think it is. If you agree, then thank you for being a part of allowing me to do precisely that. I'm going to grow some potatoes now. It's kind of a waste of bone meal to eat potatoes when I could just die. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, chat, I'm going to do future me a big favor here. And I'm just going to die for him. Future me, current me is doing you a favor. I'm going to make a chest right here. Right, like here, I guess. I'm gonna make a chest. I'm gonna put in all my stuff. All my armor. I don't think I have any armor. It's all going in here, chat. And I've got 21 levels, so I'll make sure I die on the way that I get some of that back. But chat, current me is going to do future me a favor. So, there we go. My Reddit count is 55 years old. That means that you've, like, 55 years ago is, what is it called? Unix time? It's the time that, like, everything is tracked into. Okay, one more full, and it'll be good to go. Look at me, chat. I'm the mob grinder now. And we be good. You may die for your future self, but would you live for him? Yeah, this is my response to the contact lens girl. I don't know if it was a girl, actually. I don't know why I put that on them. I don't know you. I don't know what's going on in your life. Taking out a loan not to work sounds like future you has to work twice as hard to pay it back and will not like you. Well, taking out a loan not to work, in theory, means that you can... Yeah, it does mean future you has to work extra hard. Honestly, I feel that way about student loans too, though, right? Like, for whatever reason, it is considered to be entirely acceptable to tell people to take out student loans, which is saying to people, oh yeah, do this big thing now that future you has to pay back later. And everyone agrees that that is worthwhile. So why not, like, the YouTuber equivalent? And I think there's very good reasons for why not the YouTuber equivalent. But I was thinking, but would you do that, you know? Would I do that were I me in a different body? But if I was me in a different body, would I be good at YouTube? Am I good at YouTube, or am I just lucky? You know, was I here at the right time? That's what many people like to say. I don't know, actually. That's a good question. One that we'll have to go into in the next part. I hope you all enjoyed today's live stream. To make up for last one's being 4.5 hours, this one is 2.5 hours. The average is still 3.5 hours in this series, which tells you that I'm loving it a lot, and I'm looking forward to the next part, because once we get the mob grinder running, we can really move close to our big vision of, once the mob grinder's running, we'll be able to finally get some of that gold we need, because I want to have a house, and I want to live in there with a special someone, and both those things look like they're happening. It's wild that an 18-year-old can have a 100,000 loan for school, but not for a house. Yeah, if you think about it, right? The graduate premium and the amount of rent versus the amount of mortgage interest. Because mortgages are about the same as rent. But the only real cost of a mortgage is mortgage interest and house maintenance. In theory, for some people, depending on what job field you're going into, it does make more sense to get a mortgage than a... Man, this is such dumb personal finance stuff no one cares about. Totally fair, last stream went on long. But yeah, today's stream has been great. Look at the world, chat. Do you remember how it started today? Look at what it looks like now. It's insane how much this has changed. And I've got 50% fewer emeralds, or a third fewer emeralds. But now I have wood, and we're heading into a world where I will soon have water, maybe. It's gonna be great. We get to build this world from scratch, and I'm looking forward to being the architect of that. But for now, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Good night. Good. Let's kill one more zombie. This is a 1 in 120 chance. If I get the iron ingot, then I'll buy a triple scoop of ice cream. Ah. Have a good night, chat.